He plays football with the easiness of a coiled spring. Today, Johnny Manziel continues his legacy in front of his Aggies and intends to carry Texas A&M to yet another coveted SEC West victory.
How many times do you say to yourself, who does he remind me of? 3 spring to mind. Roger Staubach.
How about that?
Fran Tarkenton.
Oh, wow!
And Archie Manning.
Oh, look at that move. Hello.
Johnny Manziel is close to owning his own identity.
He's the magic man.
Instead of playing within the shadows of the past.
Oh, my gosh!
Today, Mississippi State stands in his way. Although down, they are not out. There is more fight in the Bulldogs' bite. For Johnny, it's another stepping stone to stardom. Another opportunity to remind everyone that players like this are few and far between.
High-flying excitement here. The first of 2 on CBS Sports. It's the Home Depot. SEC on CBS. Mississippi State on the road to College Station, Texas at Kyle Field, where they've been playing football since 1904. The stadium constructed in 1927. After today, this stadium, as we knew it, will be long gone. Hello, everyone. Tim Brando alongside Aaron Taylor and Christina Acra. You'll hear from them momentarily. Imagine it. This time a year ago, Johnny Manziel had a couple of losses at home, had yet to have his signature moment in Tuscaloosa. Here we are a season later. He could be playing his final game and on a run to a second consecutive Heisman Trophy. Consider what happened on Thursday night to Marcus Mariota. 2 major beneficiaries, Aaron. Those would be Jameis Winston at Florida State and Johnny Football here at Texas A&M.
Yeah, and last year when Johnny Football won that Heisman, it was largely in part because of his legs. His getaway sticks are dynamic, whether it was extending the play or being a dynamic open field runner. He was amazing. So this offseason, he really worked to refine the passing part of his game. He worked with a quarterback specialist on his mechanics, on his footwork, on his decision-making, and the difference has been noticeable. Johnny Manziel's production is virtually identical to what it was last year, but the big difference is he's putting up much bigger numbers in the pass game. So this could be his senior day as well. Who's to say? But he's not doing it by himself, Timmy.
Yeah.
He's got a nice group of wide receivers led by sophomore Mike Evans. 6'5", 225 pounds. He's a physically gifted athlete with very good ball skills. He's got yak yard potential, and he is without question Johnny Football's go-to target. He's got the acceleration in the open field to make a difference, and he is a big-time playmaker for the Aggies.
On the flip side, a super sophomore sensation, Dak Prescott, unfortunately lost his mother earlier this week. The funeral was held on Wednesday morning. So enter senior Tyler Russell, who's had plenty of snaps in the SEC. He will likely start, and Prescott will be the yin to Russell's yang.
Yeah, well, the old football adage, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have any. Well, yeah. Dan Mullen laughs at that. Remember, he was the offensive coordinator for Florida in 2006 with Chris Leak and Tim Tebow, and they won the national championship. So Dak Prescott, fittingly so, is wearing that number 15. He's a powerful runner that makes defenses stay up at night, and Tyler Russell, a pocket passer, can really let that thing zing, I should say. Mississippi State to win is going to have to score some points, so they're going to need Russell's arm.
The Bulldogs are a very strong team up front, outweighing Texas A&M in many categories. But the big play capability, as the skies have parted and the sun has come out for what could be the final day for Manziel and 13 seniors on this final game in Kyle Field for 2013. Here come the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. A team that played Auburn very close on the road earlier this year. Had a magnificent first half against LSU before Tyler Russell went down. Still looking for their big win of this season. Ben Molina, team captain for the Texas A&M Aggies, leads out these seniors who've scored 40+ in 12 straight games, the longest active streak in the NCAA. The Bulldogs and the Aggies, the first of two, the SEC on CBS, the opening kick when we return to College Station right after this. Just a moment ago, the Aggies made their way out on to Kyle Field for the final time in their careers for 13 of them. And for those that are underclassmen, it'll be a completely different look come next year as they bowl this in, and we'll have eventually 109,000 seating capacity. Kevin Sumlin in his second year, the head coach of the Aggies, and the third member of our broadcast team is Christina Acra. She's standing by with Dan Mullen. Christina.
All right, thanks, Tim. Coach, a very emotional week with the passing of Dak Prescott's mom. What can you say about Dak and the rest of your team that makes you proud to be their head coach?
Well, it does. You know how they handle things. We're a tight family here, and our guys have all been beside him, and it was a loss not just for him, but for our entire family. So I know, but this is an opportunity to go out there, do what they love to do, and kind of forget about all the things going on and that they have to deal with back at home. With
Dak able to go and Tyler Russell healthy, how does having the two of them give you the best chance to win today?
Well, we'd like to play both of them. They both bring a little something different to the table, and you're going to see Tyler start the game, but you're going to see Dak in there pretty early as well.
Thanks for your time. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Stadium is always filled to capacity here. It would be redundant to say anything else. Taylor Bertolet will kick it off. Jamian Lewis, the speedster, is back deep. Robert Johnson also with him. With a lot of maroon. A maroon out for the Aggies, and of course the Bulldogs don the same color. And a little breeze brings it down, and the cannon goes off with anticipation of the kick. Do you think they can load that baby up again? Is that in the budget? Well, they did have another shot in there, didn't they? Lewis takes it at his 2. And burrows down at the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Mississippi State from there as we take a look at your starting lineups presented by Chick-fil-A. And it is Tyler Russell, senior from Meridian. Young man has been just besieged with injuries, had a concussion, was out for 3 games. That happened the opening week. That's when Prescott took over. Then after about 3 games, he came back, tweaked his ankle in the first half of the LSU game, and then tweaked it again against Kentucky in a game played a few weeks back. Ladarius Perkins will be in the backfield with him as they go with 4 wide receivers on first down. Robert Johnson on the receiving end, ahead for 6 yards as we take a look at the rest of that Mississippi State offense, led by the big left guard. I know you're going to love him, Gabe Jackson.
Gabe Jackson's a big mauler, 6'4", 340 pounds. And then Clausell, look at Jackson right there. He's a big beast up front. He's the type of guy that they need to be able to count on to create some running room and control that line of scrimmage today.
2nd and 4. Malcolm Johnson, the tight end, in motion. And it's Perkins, not much room that time as the Aggies defense gets the job done. A loss of a yard as we check out the Bulldogs, a team that from a defensive standpoint has been very young, and they've been brutalized in their secondary, although it does appear they're getting a little better in that particular category. Isaiah Golden has moved into the nose, a freshman. Keep an eye on him.
He's a big player, only a true freshman. You say you gotta be stout up the middle in a defense, but he's also backed up by Darian Claiborne, number 48, another true freshman.
Playing the middle. And the handoff is to Perkins again. And on third down, not able to get there. Nothing doing on the ground for Mississippi State in the opening series. Very conservative play call here.
Extremely, and especially for a team that knew that they needed to be able to come out today and control this tempo. And to do that, you have to be able to control the line of scrimmage, sustain drives, and be in manageable third downs. Well, their first opportunity today went to the Aggies.
Devin Bell will punt it away. He took over the punting chores about mid-season. Back deep is Devontae Harris, number 1 for Texas A&M. High boot angling towards the boundary. Harris is downed immediately. And he apparently lost it and then got back up again. My apologies. 41-yard boot, 7-yard return. I thought he had gone down and he made his move ahead. Boy, it looked to me as though he had hit the ground right there, but I guess the knee did not go down. And he stayed with it, stayed alive, and moved ahead for 7 yards.
But Timmy, his right elbow goes down, and anything except the palm of the hand right there, he's down.
Yeah, he should be down. You're right. Molina is the lone setback. You're right. They gave them 7 yards on that sequence because, and we may have a replay rule coming into play right now. It did appear as though he was down. Will Redmond had gone down there, number 2, to make
the Mississippi State head coach is challenging that the runner was down before the end of his run.
Well, I think that's a good call by Dan Mullen. Our replay official, Robert Roju, will go into work right away. But this is just as you called it, Aaron, the elbow down at the 35-yard line.
Right there. Let's take a look at it again. It's clear as day. I think Dan Mullen, his eyes up in the booth are doing him a justice. I'll tell you what, when you're facing this Texas A&M offense, Timmy, every yard counts.
Yep. Right there. The ball is on the ground. The elbow is on the ground. It's a difference of about 7 yards, and that's all. From another angle, you can see it. It is early in the game for a 7-yard challenge, but I get it. You don't want to give Johnny Manziel less terrain to work with.
No, because they are so prolific early on in ball games. What they do is they get up on top of teams and score quickly, which forces the opposing team to be able to get out of their offense, to get off call sheets, if you will. So this is certainly something that will be helpful for the Bulldogs.
Mississippi State, as we mentioned, coming in search of, they've been playing very well defensively, and I know that they believe that they can stop with their excessive size.
The runner's elbow was down at the 35.5-yard line. Therefore, it will be Mississippi State ball, 1st and 10. Mississippi State is not charged with a timeout, and they do retain their challenge.
Some might have argued it was a bit early for a 7-yard challenge, but it pays dividends. No timeout charged, and A&M will start from just beyond their 35-yard line, 1st and 10.
And then I think that's important. If you're Dan Mullen, you're on the road in College Station to win this ball game. That's a great way to be able to show your team that you're here to win. And again, it's only 7 yards, but when you're facing number 2 in this prolific offense, every yard does count.
41 years of age, from New Hampshire originally, and a longtime assistant offensive mind for Urban Meyer, going all the way back to the days of Bowling Green, then on to Utah, where he had Alex Smith, and Florida, where a couple of national championships were won, one of them with Dan Dare, with both Chris Leak and Tim Tebow. Then Molina, the lone setback, and Manziel on a called play takes it right back where the ball was originally going to be, and maybe another yard ahead of that to the 42, a pickup of 7. As we look at the starting lineups, again presented by Chick-fil-A. For Johnny, 2,800 yards this year, 26 touchdowns. He's just been incredible. He's ahead of schedule from a year ago when he won the Heisman. And it's Molina. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. Tevez Calhoun coming up. Nice play on his part. And it's 3rd down and 3.
This is a big 3rd down where they got to be able to go, but they got a big left tackle, Jake Matthews. Been really impressed with him on film. Comes from a great pedigree, great run and pass blocker.
Out to number 84, the wide receiver Malcolm Kennedy, and he stopped at the 40. Well diagnosed by the Mississippi State defense. Matt Wells, outside linebacker, number 22, the junior from Monticello, Mississippi, read that one beautifully. And the Aggies, a rare 3 and out in an opening possession. Had that a week ago against Texas El Paso in a non-conference game. That very rarely happens to them. Drew Kaiser is in to punt it away.
Mississippi State, top 20 3rd down defense in the country. Great open field tackling. They'll need a lot of that today, and I think that could be kick catch interference too.
Jamyon Lewis was a little late with the fair catch signal, but ample opportunity defensively for the special teamer to come away and get out of there. And it was Floyd Raven Sr., number 5, that appeared to be the guy in prematurely.
What a weird start to this game.
Kicking team number 4. The penalty is 15 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Timmy, I was saying what a weird start to this game.
Indeed. Actually, 4 was on the receiving end. Floyd Raven Sr., the culprit, number 5 for Texas A&M. Timeout. Bulldogs will have it in very good field position at their own 33 when we come back. Very likable young man, Tyler Russell. We mentioned missed the 4 games. The injury-plagued season began, as I mentioned, with a concussion in the opener against Oklahoma State. You could argue this was a pretty tough schedule the Bulldogs took on this year. Then on October the 24th against Kentucky, and this was after he had tweaked it at LSU. He sprained his ankle in the first quarter of that game, did not return. But entering today, he had only played in 4 games this season, but a number of snaps through the course of the regular year. And he is Dak Prescott's closest friend on this team, and did go down on the charter flight along with some coaches and a couple of other players to Dak's mom's funeral this past Wednesday. They are as close as any 2 quarterbacks could possibly be.
And it's very important to have a close quarterback room, and Mississippi State's lucky to have one.
Perkins, the lone setback again. On 1st down. Quick out pattern to Darunya Wilson, number 81. 5-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 5.
This is Darunya Wilson. He's a good player. You see off coverage, you got to be able to take what the defense gives you. Texas A&M so far also playing a little bit soft and off coverage on the corners. They're looking at that upstairs. Tyler Russell has the type of arm that he can make you pay if you get the looks you like.
It's the same offense as the one Prescott has, but as defensive coordinator Mark Snyder told us, it's a completely different look that you're having to defend because of the quarterback position. Rolling right. Russell thinks better of it, just dumps it out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Joe Morrow, number 16, was the intended receiver. There are the numbers on Prescott and Russell this season. And again, this is a team that may be getting away from what Les Koenig, the offensive coordinator's offense, has traditionally been, and back to what Dan Mullen's comfortable with. And that's a Dak Prescott type. Yeah, that's no question. You have to have that physical downhill running element to your game that puts stress on the defense by making your defensive players read what the offense is doing. And that's what Dak Prescott does. Talking with defensive coordinator Mike Snyder, he said, we fear number 15 more because of his ability to run the football. Looking for Wilson again, and right at the stakes, he's got the 1st down. And that's a big league throw to Darunya Wilson, number 81, a 7-yard pickup. And Coach Mullen told us guys like Wilson, Robert Johnson would have to make plays today. You hit the nail on the head, Timmy. What a great throw. Looks the safety off, turns, fires. Look at that window that he's got to be able to get that ball in. And hey, how about number 81 knowing exactly where the sticks are to get the 1st down? That's big time. Out of the shotgun, it's Perkins. Right over the right side and near another 1st down into Aggies territory at the 46-yard line. Nate Askew, number 9, the senior, Madison High School, San Antonio, Texas with the stop. And he's less than a yard shy of a first down. No, they're going to say it is a first down. They marked it as a 10-yard gain and a first.
Tim, from an offensive lineman's perspective, it's so early to get that run game going early. Run blocking is about being aggressive. Pass blocking is about being passive aggressive. For these guys, they want to send a message early, and that first run right there was a nice one.
Bulldogs have been very effective in most games early. Although they were 3 and out in this opening series, Askew on what looked to be a stretch play gone the wrong way for Ladarius Perkins loses about a yard.
Yeah, that was a power. They brought the backside guard, but too much dancing around by Ladarius Perkins. I think he lost his footing. It did rain here earlier. The sun's out now, but you have to wonder if the little bit of dew had an effect on Perkins being able to keep his feet. He should have put his foot in the ground and gotten north-south on that last one.
Jamion Lewis, number 4, is in the slot to the bottom of your screen. Perkins again the lone setback. 2nd and 11. Again, it's that sideline out pattern again. Morrow, the receiver, the sophomore from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, with a gain of 7 inside the 40-yard line of Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, led by their defensive coordinator Mark Schneider, is going to have to start to press his cornerbacks a little bit early, because Mississippi State and Tyler Russell, to their credit, are taking what that defense is giving them. But here's a big 3rd down. You have a big quarterback. You have some great receivers there in a 3-by-1 set.
How about this? He's no Prescott, but they run a play very similar to the one Dak would always carry, and that down and distance to Shazer Everett, though, stopped him prior to making the necessary yardage for the first down. It's 4th down and let's call it a 1.5, maybe a short 2 coming up.
Just going to be a lead draw there, and you really see the difference between a Tyler Russell and a Dak Prescott. But this is 4-down territory, Tim. The Bulldogs are here to be able to win this. They've got to get a yard to do it.
Are you surprised he didn't bring Prescott in just to get this yardage?
Not for the first play of the game on a 4th down in this situation. Let the guy who's been out there feeling the rhythm of the game go for it.
It's Perkins, and he's stuffed. A&M will take over on downs. Donnie Baggs, linebackers, involved on the stop in that play. Also a nice defensive play made up front by Walker. 99 Isaiah Golden, all involved on the pile. Loss of 2.
Yeah, left tackle Blaine Clausel got beat inside. Penetration is the #1 offender of being able to stop the run game. Aggies defense took control of the line of scrimmage on the big first 4th down of the game.
On 1st down, Manziel's pass over the middle and caught by Malcolm Kennedy.
Malcolm Kennedy's a quiet, business-like receiver. He's the #2 target. When Mike Evans isn't there, he likes to go to number 84.
13-yard gain and a first down. Dime package now for Mississippi State. 6 DBs in. Right over the middle of Laphart. Down to the 35-yard line. Run down by Nico Whitley, #1. 16-yard gain.
Tim, when you have the explosiveness at receiver that Texas A&M does, you fear getting beat and giving up the big plays. Right now, they're bending but not breaking, but they're going to have to challenge these receivers at some point today.
Yeah, they're going fast here, too, giving Johnny the kind of tempo that he wants.
3-by-2 set empty backfield. Johnny Manziel will carry it from here.
Quick out to Laphart. Caught ahead for maybe 2, and that's it.
Beniquez Brown that time on the tackle, and pretty good open field tackling so far by the Bulldogs. That's going to be paramount. It's the yards after the catch that makes this offense hum.
2nd and 8. Johnny has gotten much better at these pre-snap reads. Doesn't have to look over to Sumlin nearly as much as he did a year ago. And when #2 sees that, he runs to daylight and another first down. Whitley again, #1, making the tackle for Mississippi State. He slipped right there.
That's how dynamic he is. Even when he slips, he can still be fast enough to get back up on his feet. That was that same 3-by-2 formation, the empty backfield. That's what makes number 2 so dynamic, is when he's back there by himself, they can still run you.
The fake to Molina. And now it's time for Manziel to try to work some magic with his feet. And he gets inside the 15, near the 12. Run out of bounds by Preston Smith, 91. 9-yard pickup.
Well, here's the green zone for Texas A&M when you're inside there. One of the things you like to be able to do is run some screens, draws, and delays. Mississippi State, on the other hand, will fire zone and run some stunts inside there to be able to take out the middle.
Evans down at the bottom of your screen. Manziel rolls the opposite way. Finds number 84 Kennedy for the touchdown. So many options in this offense.
And no question, and this is what makes Johnny Manziel so dangerous. Pretty good protection. He feels some late pressure there and he scrambles. You have to stay home, though. You can't lose track of who it is you're supposed to pick up. And that time, Bernard Rick McKinney came off of 84, and Malcolm Kennedy made him pay for it.
Lambeau with the extra point to make it 7-0. The Bulldogs are turned away on 4th down, and then Johnny gets there lickety-split. 7-0 A&M. Adam, no question, Manziel has done all the right things, had all the right moves since week 3 of the regular season. And we were here for that mammoth matchup against Alabama, though he was outplayed that day by A.J. McCarron. Conventional wisdom is that since then, McCarron hasn't had to make plays for Alabama to win. This guy always has to make plays. And I think that's one of the reasons, fairly or unfairly, guys like Jameis Winston and Manziel always get the nod. Now, that could change with the big spotlight games that are ahead of A.J., beginning with tonight.
Yeah, no question. LSU's defense might have a thing or two to say about that. They're 4-1 straight up in the last 5 meetings in Tuscaloosa. And you know what's interesting, though, Timmy, is that of the last 6 Heisman winners, half of them came off of 2-loss teams. So yeah. Johnny Manziel, with the games that they have coming down the stretch, if they were to win out, I think he'd have a strong case for a Heisman hopeful again.
I mean, think about it. LSU on the road and Missouri, those would be teams that would propel them into the likelihood of a BCS Bowl opportunity. Bertolet's kick down to Jamion Lewis. This guy's a speed merchant, trying to make a cut, slips and falls at the 33, and a late flag comes down right there. 33-yard return on that kick, but the late marker will check that out.
Might have been a face mask, Timmy.
If that's the case, then Dak Prescott may have a lot to work with when he comes out for this series.
During the return, personal foul, face mask, number 37 of the kicking team. The penalty is 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Take a close look at Alex Caesar, reserve cornerback, freshman from Orange, Texas.
Yep. Jamion Lewis just grabs his face mask inadvertently trying to make a play. And what I've noticed early on in this ball game is a lot of the skill position players are having trouble keeping their footing. That could come into play as this game continues to develop.
Dak Prescott in the game for the first time. And the hand is to Robinson. Josh Robinson, number 34. Pick him up, put him down, and it's 7-6. 51 yards. Take a look at what happened here.
To have a good run game, you got to be physical at the point of attack, and that includes wide receivers. Mississippi State knew that they needed to be able to stand in there and go toe-to-toe and not flinch, and thanks to that big block by Brandon Holloway, they tied this game up potentially with this extra point. Great response by the Bulldogs.
I'll say Prescott's ballyhooed entrance to the game was simply handing off to Robinson, who had just gotten into the game for Perkins. That was the first play from scrimmage or either one of them. And the extra point from Sobiesk, Evan Sobiesk, is good. 2 touchdowns in 17 seconds. Some fireworks in game 1 of a doubleheader day. The SEC on CBS has gone maroon Manziel next up. Tim Brando alongside Aaron Taylor, Christina Acra along the sidelines. We'll hear from her later. You look at the scoring drive. Pretty quick, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is they needed to do to be able to respond. Timmy, remember, they kind of sputtered, went 3 and out on their first series here, but they're really starting to get that run game going. As I mentioned, is very important. That's going to give them the confidence that they need, that they can come on the road and beat this Aggie team.
Devin Bell will kick it away. And back deep. Trey Williams and Ben Molina. Through the end zone, and the Aggies will have to start from the 25-yard line after the touchback. And again, this is a guy, Robinson, they use a lot on misdirection.
Yeah, keep an eye. This is just going to be a simple counter play out of diamond formation, but great blocks at the point of attack. When you got a hat on a hat, you create these run lanes to get north and south. Missed tackle there by Darian Claiborne, that true freshman middle linebacker that we talked about, and it was a costly one because it tied this game up for the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
3 wide receivers again, and at the bottom of your screen is Evans, who they really like to lather up early in the game. He and Johnny are very, very close, roommates. In fact, quick out goes to Molina, following the block of Evans, and he's out to the 35-yard line, maybe the 37, as the senior, one of 13, playing for the final time at Kyle Field today. A pickup of 12 yards.
And he is a leader of this team. The coaches told us that they've got some good younger backs, but they really trust him in pass protection.
Manziel rolling left, and the pass is caught by Darrell Walker, the senior from Hillsboro, Texas. Got here by way of Trinity Valley Community College. Pickup of 7. We'll call it second down and a long 3. Evans has it. I don't know. You tell me. Does anyone play faster in the SEC than A&M when they get it going?
It's unbelievable to be able to watch what it is they're able to do. Ole Miss will use some tempo, and they do that pretty well. But Texas A&M, remember, this is Kevin Sumlin. He's been doing this a long time, including his last stop at Houston.
Manziel looking for Evans. And he caught it at the 30, albeit he did have the 1 foot in and 1 foot out, but it is good enough for a first down. Just shy of the 31 of Mississippi State.
I've really been impressed with Evans learning the nuances of this game. You see his big body. He almost tries to post up at times and makes the game of football look like a hoops game.
There's that little sidearm throw by Manziel to Evans, and markers down as he's ushered out at the 21 of the Bulldogs. We'll check the flag. Yeah, Kevin Sumlin and Hugh Freeze play a similar game.
Offense, number 84. The penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Kennedy gets caught with a hold. He was the man who caught the touchdown a few moments ago.
Bubble screens, it's so important.
Pretty obvious.
Yep. Just takes him to the ground. The coaching point on that is to get run over slowly. Sounds a little bit crazy, but a lot of the wide receivers coaches that you talk to say that blocking out on the edge is so important, but really hard for their guys to do because of what we just saw right there.
He had his arms all over Justin Cox, number 9. And that backs them up. Molina remains in the backfield. Manziel with room. Stopped at the 31-yard line. Chris Jones, big fella, out of Houston, Texas, freshman. He's got an outstanding future, this kid. 18 tackles coming in to today's game. Pickup of 6.
He's a tremendous player. See a 3rd down look at the line of scrimmage.
And Molina forges ahead, but negligible yardage, maybe a yard, perhaps 2. And he lost the hat on the way down. Maniquez Brown, 42, polished him off. He'll have to leave.
He's grabbing his forehead like he got hit after that helmet came off.
Very quickly, Laquiviante Gonzalez, number 6, makes his way out onto the field and moves up to the top of your screen on 3rd and 7.
See this 3-down look. Sometimes they like to run a saw blitz out of this, which is bringing pressure with backers off the outside edges.
Here they come. Good call, partner. Manziel rolls away from it, and as usual, finds a man. Down at the 15-yard line, it's Lequivante Gonzalez, number 6, who had just come into the game just in time for the play. It's a 14-yard gain.
Yeah, and he's a converted high school running back out of Cedar Hill, Texas. Coaches say he's really good with the ball in his hands. He showed tremendous hand strength on that football.
Trey Williams in for Molina, remains in the backfield, out of the shotgun for Manziel. He's 11 for 11 so far. In trouble here, just has to get rid of it outside the tackle box. Live to fight another day. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Timmy, excellent job by the Mississippi State Bulldog defensive line that time by maintaining contain.
And you see that red zone possession chart on Texas A&M. They may have a little more trouble today without the running option of Trey Carson, number 21, who is dressed today but likely won't play. Got hurt in the game against Texas El Paso, was carted off the field. He's their power back, as you see Williams forging ahead to about the 10. This is a running back by committee team. Bernard McKinney made the stop, and I believe they're saying there was a fumble late.
You can always tell when the ball comes out because of the reactions of the player. All of a sudden, everybody's kind of choking down, and then there's a huge rush. A lot of times, that's when they see the ball coming out.
Looks as though he was down. Molina is back in the game. On 3rd down. 3rd and 6.
Mississippi State will pressure down here on 3rd down situations. Mug those linebackers up. Bring pressure off the outside edge. Here they rush 3.
Running out of time, and that pass is picked off. Thrown late. Intercepted by number 5, Jannerson Love. Aberdeen, Mississippi. The junior comes away with it. And you noticed it on film. There are times when Manziel releases it late, and that was one such occasion.
He should not have thrown that football.
You got to take the good with the bad. He had been 11 for 11, threw one away, should have thrown another out of bounds. State takes over when we come back.
And welcome back to College Station, where Mississippi State on the road has tied it up. And watch this Johnny Manziel fumble, interception, trying to get the football to Darrell Walker, number 11. Good job of Mississippi State's defense staying in their pass rush lanes. Johnny waits way too long to be able to throw that football, telegraphs his throw, and it ends up being a big turnover for Mississippi State. Remember, last week against South Carolina, Mississippi State turned the ball over 5 times. They grossly lost the turnover battle. That could prove to be a huge difference in a game like this, and maybe finally some momentum starting to go the Bulldogs' way.
He went after the best cornerback that Mississippi State has in Love, all right? He had 4 big breakups a week ago, and without question, he's the fastest of the corners. So a couple of mistakes there by Manziel. On 1st down, Perkins.
And I'll say this also, Timmy, number 11, Darrell Walker's got to do a better job of when that football's in the air and going to get it.
Darian Claiborne made the stop of Perkins. Gain of 2. 2nd and 8. Dak Prescott remains in the game. Tyler Russell got the start, was in for 2 series. Prescott's had 1 handoff to Robinson for a touchdown, and now this is essentially his 3rd play from scrimmage. A pump fake, and he looks long. He's got a wide open receiver. Incomplete. It was Brandon Holloway, number 10, who had 3 steps on the defender, but it falls incomplete.
He just absolutely shook Devontae Harris, number 1. Single man coverage, just runs right past him. And just a slightly overthrown football.
Boy, I thought he kind of gave up on that and started playing the ball instead of running the route. If he had just continued to run, I think he catches that.
And so far early on in this game, we've seen the limitations of throwing the football of Dak Prescott and the limitations in running the football in Tyler Russell. That's why Dan Mullen's glad he's got both.
3rd and 8. And flag down.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense number 15.
Well, one of those moments where concentration could come into question. That's something Spencer Tillman talked about in our College Football Today show, along with Brian Jones and Adam Zucker. There was so much going on with this young man, only a sophomore, and yeah, he's got his friend, the senior, that's trying to help him along the way. But trying to compartmentalize things can be very tough when you're this young playing a mission-critical position. 3rd and 12.
Forces us to face something of our own humanness and vulnerabilities.
Pressure, Prescott comes out, throwing in the direction of Lewis. We've got a late flag. He may have gotten beyond the line of scrimmage.
Tim, that possibly could be a safety if it's a holding ball.
Wow.
Offense number 61. Penalty will be declined. 4th down.
So it's Ken Williamson, our referee, telling us that Gabe Jackson, who's the best offensive lineman they have, was guilty of holding. But yeah, it did not happen inside the end zone.
You always get nervous when it's down there, and as a former offensive lineman, I can tell you, buddy, it's so imperative to have good fundamentals. Offensive linemen, Tim, have 4 weapons, both your hands and both your feet. You need 3 of them or more to be in the right place to be successful as an offensive lineman.
Bell will boot it away from his end zone. Devontae Harris, it's blocked. Was that the 12th man? Could it have been? Is it his day? It is. Sam Miller, the 12th man, comes away with the biggest play of the game to this point. Well, that should make Jackie Sherrill happy. The winningest coach in the history of Mississippi State, and of course the great coach here for so many years at Texas A&M. He began what 12th man would always be, and this walk-on comes in to make the play. How about that? The history, the tradition of Texas A&M football, right there for all to see. The reserve defensive back from San Antonio makes it 9-7. Indeed, and those two teams are both hungry for victories, Adam. There's a young man that's pretty pleased. We mentioned almost all of the 12th men have been reserve linebackers or defensive backs, and he plays a good bit. But the legend of the 12th man got underway before Jackie got here, but just the other night, well, actually it was last night, he got together with all of the 12th men of the past, dating back some 30 years. And this is their moment to shine, courtesy young Mr. Miller from San Antonio.
Well, Mississippi State didn't respond after their sudden change opportunity. Let's see how the Aggies do.
Devin Bell boots it away. Trey Williams. He's got speed. Tremendous blocking here from young Mr. Miller. San Antonio, Texas. Well, he came in there in a hurry. You go back to the penalty of delay of game given up by Prescott. That played a very significant role in that opportunity.
Absolutely it did, because it pushed them back, which shrinks the length that the punter has to be able to execute that punt. Now, I will say this, though, it would help if Mississippi State had assigned anybody to pick up Miller, because he came untouched.
You got to block the walk-ons, too. That pass is caught by Malcolm Kennedy again. He's been very active, clearly the number 2 option in this offense after Mike Evans. Junior from Cayuga, Texas. In Molina in the backfield, he picks up blocks very well for Manziel when he's in there, and he did so just there. We talk about handling protections. Ben Molina does a better job of that, and that's one of the reasons why he's out there more. He may be the least talented of the core of running backs that the Aggies had.
But that doesn't mean he's the least valuable.
That's right.
One of the things you have to worry about with young running backs is ball security and pass protection, so Molina's a nice asset.
2nd and 10. Head for about a yard, and then Mississippi State again with that incredible size advantage that they have. Danico Autry, number 90, leading the charge that time after a gain of 1. Able to get the job done. This is a svelte offensive front for A&M. Now they have a couple of outstanding prospects in Ogbuehi and certainly Jake and Mike Matthews, but they're very small by comparison to Mississippi State. Third down for Manziel. Flushed again. And that pass is caught by Labhart. Again, the ability to read and come back when your quarterback is ad-libbing. Labhart and Evans are as good as any at that.
No question. That's just a simple scramble drill. If you're a short receiver, you go deep. If you're a deep receiver, you come back to the football. If you're running an intermediate route, show your numbers to the quarterback. And that time, Johnny Football, throwing against his body, put it on the money.
Coming down to the close of the first quarter with Manziel on first down. Looking long, Labhart. Touchdown.
Jimmy, I don't know how you get that wide open. Great time with protection. Johnny doesn't have to set his feet, but Labhart's open by 15 yards. Number 5's got to do a better job of being able to carry him. Jamerson Love, way too late of a reaction by the safety to come over there. That was stealing for the Aggies.
He had 2 touchdowns to open last week. Gets another this week. Former practice player for the women's basketball team. Just wanted a chance. 33 yards on the receiving end. And a 9-point swing off that safety for Johnny Football. Aggies lead it by 9. Closing seconds of the first quarter. But home field means virtually nothing in that series.
No, if anything, LSU likes to be on the road, if history's any indicator. And I think Alabama would be ready to play, but LSU, in the 2 losses that they had, Tim, they didn't run the football very well, and they didn't bring their defense. Those things are imperative to win on the road.
Bertolet will kick it away. Robert Johnson, Jamion Lewis are back deep. Lewis from the 6. Kid's got another gear, doesn't he? Can just stop, start it all over again. Manages to get to the 26-yard line, and we've come to the end of the first quarter. Solid start for the Bulldogs, but the blocked punt leads to another big play, a 9-point swing in the last 122, and it's 16-7. We'll return to College Station after this message and a word from your local CBS stations. As we open the second quarter, 16-7 our score. Time now for our Home Depot tools for success, Aaron Taylor.
Yeah, let's take a look at that last touchdown with Travis Labhart. He's right here, but keep your eye right here on number 84, Malcolm Kennedy. He forces the safety to respond to him, which allows Labhart to be inside the coverage of number 23, Tevez Calhoun. Calhoun, way too late getting over, safety too late getting over. In cover 3, you have 3 deep defenders that divide the back end of the field in 3. That is exactly where the weakness of that defense is, and Johnny Football found it and exploited it.
Along with his best buddy, Mike Evans, having a nice conversation. Tyler Russell has re-entered the game at quarterback for Mississippi State. Nick Griffith, number 7, and Josh Robinson, 34, the setbacks. Out of the shotgun. Fake is to Griffith, and the pass is caught by Duranya Wilson, who's got his 3rd catch of the afternoon. And they have continued to feed and fan him with those quick out routes ahead to the 36-yard line and a first down.
It's been there, so they've been taking it, and certainly Tyler Russell can put those footballs where they need to be. The counter to that, Tim, is a double move where you fake like you're going out, running out and up, and try and get a big play over the top.
Robinson remains in the game as the lone setback. He'll take it off the left side right behind 61 Gabe Jackson. Ahead for about 2, maybe 3. Ivan Robinson, 89. Junior from Longville, Louisiana, over to make the stop. A pickup of 3. We'll call it 2nd and 7. Dan Mullen told us yesterday when we spoke that he might tempo this game a bit, and perhaps that's the reason to go with Russell here. You know, you want to keep your defense, if possible, on the sidelines a little while longer. You don't want to send them back out there too quickly.
Yeah, no question. And when you play high up-tempo offenses, sometimes the best defense is a good methodical offense, and I think Stanford Cardinal showed us that on Thursday night.
Did they ever? A curl. And again, Wilson, along with Brown, this time 86 on the receiving end of this one for Mississippi State for the first down.
Take a look at this, Timmy. Mississippi State total plays 18, but A&M total plays in the opponent's territory 16. Texas A&M is playing on some short fields today, and Mississippi State's not helping themselves out. But here they are at midfield. They got to find some success on first down to keep these chains moving.
Another redshirt freshman, Freddie Brown, with a catch, and here's again Josh Robinson forging ahead inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. That's a gain of 7. But one thing that you know you should be able to do, I mean, let's face it, Mississippi State knows Texas A&M has been vulnerable inside. I mean, they've been ranked somewhere between 95th and 105th most of this season against the rush. And they lost Kirby Ennis, as you know, their run stuffer to the torn ACL earlier this year. Why not pound it behind your big uglies?
That's what I'm saying. When Mississippi State to start this game went to their run game, they had success. They got to get back to that.
Oh, that one's dropped by Robert Johnson.
A lot of times, Timmy, receivers will get excited, especially on bubble screens like that. You have to first secure the football, then make your run. That was set up. There was blocking out there. But again, those are drive killers here on third down.
Yeah, Johnson's really been one of their more sure-handed guys. Very consistent. Knows where the sticks are. He tried to run a bit too quickly that time. 3rd and 3.
Let your big dogs up front hunt, create some movement against this Texas A&M defense that's given up 5 yards per carry. Great place for a zone read here.
There it is, and they go wide with it, and Robinson's got a first down. Well, the old offensive lineman for Notre Dame knows a thing or two.
I'm just saying, man. You got these big old boys up front. Do it. And you see Texas A&M that time trying to cross over. And Robinson has over half of Mississippi State yards himself. Hey, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know. Feed the dude that's got the hot hand and let those big dogs up front get her done.
Well, the 93 Lombardi winner enjoys the trenches.
Seeing some of those highlights back in the day when I was playing Texas A&M.
Yeah, that 40-pound differential is palpable. That one's knocked away by DeShazer Everett, who is one of the more experienced hands in that secondary, junior from DeRidder, Louisiana.
Big cushion there, but planting and driving. Great job by DeShazer Everett there. To be a cornerback, you have to have good instincts and good quicks and good reaction time. And that's a big reason why this young man, 29, is an all-SEC caliber type defensive back. Attack that football. See some cushion up top, press at the bottom.
Perkins set behind out of his own read, and he'll take it. Forge ahead inside to about the 36-yard line.
And Tim, that was the exact same play that Robinson scored a touchdown on out of that diamond formation. Now this brings up a big third down. Texas A&M, 47th in the country, coming into this situation.
Mark Snyder, the defensive coordinator, veteran, former Jim Tressel assistant, now here running this defense, getting off the field on third down and creating turnovers. That's the mantra for the defensive coordinator here at Texas A&M.
Looks like they're running some double eagle inside where the center and both guards are covered defensively.
Now that one was well read. Nice defensive play by Harris. Devontae jumping the route that time. Russell's favorite pass, going with the out pattern towards the wide side of the field.
Keep an eye on him right there. Look at how much space and cushion he's there. Russell doing a good job of looking off the safety, but he comes back. Harris is waiting on it, and tremendous explosion again to be able to break on that football and force the punt.
On 4th and 8, we'll try to pooch this one, get it high into the air. Harris will let it bounce. And it takes a wonderful bounce for State and is downed inside the 3-yard line. That's where the Aggies will take over. A 34-yard boot, and very effective by Bell. Dan Mullen not pleased with that sequence offensively as he chats with his veteran quarterback. Welcome back to venerable Kyle Field here in College Station, a Chamber of Commerce day. Tim Brando along with Aaron Taylor and Christina Acra. Make sure to join the conversation at #HailState and #TAMU. And among the special guests on hand, 25 years and 1 day from the time he was elected the 41st president of the United States, George Herbert Walker Bush, making his way in. Boy, it's great to see him. His library, of course, located here. Makes it to many a Texas A&M game. Even one of those parachutes that he made came out not far from our location today here at Kyle Field.
I think his big wife was a fan of him parachuting.
Yeah. I said, no more of those with Jim Nance, okay? You're not going to take any more of those skydives with Jim. Trey Williams is the lone setback on first down. Boy, nice jitterbug. Beyond the 10 to about the 11-yard line. Justin Cox made the stop. That's a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. Boy, Manziel pretty effective after the first punt, then the touchdown. Did throw the pick after a nice drive. He was 11 of 11 at that point. 162 passing yards, 34 on the ground for. And it's Trey Williams again. This time he is engulfed by that Mississippi State forward wall. Preston Smith, 91, wrapped him up. First to get there.
They brought some pressure off that outside edge. Mississippi State starting to miss several tackles on these first 2 plays on this series. This is a big 3rd down that would give them good field position. They've got their 3-down linemen. They have to find a way to be able to pressure Johnny Manziel, but keep him in the pocket.
Well, Williams gets it, and he is dangerously close to being stopped. I don't know that he got there. He did not. No, he's short. He's about a half-yard shy of the first. That's a big stop for the Bulldogs defensively. The Aggies will have to boot it away. Ewells was in there. Caleb Ewells, 92, junior from Yazoo City.
Tim, sometimes when you're a defensive player, there is no magic play call. It doesn't matter. That's X's and O's. Sometimes it's about Jimmys and Joes. And that time, Mississippi State defensively bowed their back and made a play. They knew that they needed to win 3rd down, and they got it done on that last one.
Lambeau to boot it away. Just the 2nd punt of the afternoon. Jamion Lewis backing up to his 26-yard line and slips and falls at the 28. 9:37 remaining, trying to get a yard. They miss Trey Carson in situations like this. The big burly back not available. Williams stopped. Dogs have it. There you see Trey Carson, who is the largest of the Aggie tailback options. The Oregon transfer was injured in the game against Texas El Paso. It did not look at the time as though it was as bad as it may have turned out to be. Play stopped for 15 minutes. It was rather precautionary more than anything else. He's dressed today, but they're saving him for that bye week. They could have used him on this play right here. This is exactly when you want to have Trey Carson in for that kind of yardage.
Yeah, because Trey Williams is 5'8", 195, and Trey Carson is 6 foot, 230 pounds, and has a penchant for running people over.
Yeah, they've got others, Brandon Williams, Trey Williams among them. But Carson's clearly their biggest and strongest, as you see Ladarius Perkins on the stretch play, getting it out to the 35. That's a gain of 7. 2nd and 3 coming up. You know, that 58-yard boot was a dandy because, you know, Mississippi State was anticipating great field position after the stop. But that punt backed them all the way up to their 25-yard line. So on the flip, they really didn't get the kind of field position they had hoped for.
And those are those crucial hidden yards that coaches are very aware of, but are very hard to see in the stat box.
Prescott is your quarterback, and on the zone read, it is Perkins. And he burrows near the sticks Maybe just shy of the necessary yardage for the first down.
Been really
No,
impressed.
they're going to say it is a first down. Just maybe.
Been impressed with Perkins and Josh Robinson today, Timmy. They're patient runners. They're north-south runners. And it looks like what Mississippi State is doing is attacking the edges of this Texas A&M defense on the perimeter and then trying to get some big plays up front. They've got to be able to keep mixing it up because remember, this Aggie defense gives up 5 yards per carry and 200 yards per game. They got to get some running room.
Quick hitch to Johnson. Well read again defensively by Devontae Harris. Let's go back to the studio. This Liberty Mutual Insurance update. All right. That given that loss by Stanford, they were propped up pretty well for a loss like that among the one-loss teams against the Utes. But they were certainly deserving of being where they are given what just happened a couple of nights ago. Not much that time as Prescott got ahead for a couple, and that's about it.
That's the first time he kept it, but when you lose 2 yards on first down, they get stopped at the line of scrimmage. It brings up a 3rd and 10. Mark Schneider, the defensive coordinator for Texas A&M, knew that he had to gamble to mix it up, be able to take some shots. You wonder if he brings pressure here. In Mississippi State, they've been attacking the perimeter. Do they finally take a downfield shot?
Jamion Lewis and Johnson are to the top of your screen. They're the 1 and 2 options offensively in the passing game. Prescott looking that way. Ahead to midfield, and it is Robert Johnson at the 49-yard line of Texas A&M. That's a 13-yard gain.
Keep your eye on Johnson right here. Excellent job by Prescott of coming back to his 3rd or 4th option. And when you're a wide receiver, you have to find the holes in that zone defense. That is a very nice pitch and catch for the Bulldogs to move the chains.
Brandon Holloway, number 10, now is in at wide receiver up at the top of the screen on first down. Over the middle, incomplete pass thrown a little low, intended for Jeremy Chappelle, number 84. Well, Thursday on CBS, Ed Asner and Everybody Loves Raymond's Brad Garrett guest star in a new Crazy Ones with Robin Williams and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Thursday, 9, 8 Central, only CBS. Josh Robinson checks back into the game. Mississippi State with 3 in the backfield alongside Prescott.
If twice they ran zone read or ran the football here, did they take a play action shot on 2nd and 10?
And a nice zone read decision that time, and they go with number 32, Ashton Shepard, his first carry of the game.
There's no question that Tyler Russell is the better throwers of the two, but with number 15 on the field, Dak Prescott, Mississippi State can run that football. By far the most successful formation they've had is that diamond formation. They keep coming back to it and finding pay dirt.
3rd and a yard. Now Robinson slipped as he got the ball. What slippage we've seen, and yes, there was some rain, quite a bit really, early today. Between 9 in the morning and say 1 in the afternoon. It's been around the hashes, right there.
Penetration that time. Texas A&M aggressively coming after the football, using a run stunt. The ends collapse. You get some press up front in the line of scrimmage, and there's nowhere to go. And with the footing bad, forces the punt.
I'm a little surprised he's not thinking about going for it with the advantage they have up front with that offensive line. Now this punt is going to again be around the 10-yard line, so from a field position standpoint, not a bad choice. I'm not saying that, but why not?
Well,
take a shot.
because you just got stuffed. That's why.
Now this guy can go 90 in a heartbeat. And by the way, you're looking for a win, any win in the SEC to become bowl eligible. We can debate that a little later. When we come back, Johnny Manziel is on display yet again for the final time at Kyle Field. Time down to cue the duck. How many players won the Heisman Trophy while playing for Bear Bryant? And by the way, I should mention to you that That's a bit of a generational question. A lot of people are going, oh, sure, I know. Bear Bryant, of course, coached at a number of places besides Alabama, this being one of them where the Junction boys hailed. Ben Molina is the lone setback for Texas A&M as Johnny Manziel decides to keep it and is out to about the 14-yard line. Bernard McKinney, number 50, youngster from Tunica, Mississippi, coming into today's game was second in tackles with 49. A very active football player, played exceedingly well in that game with Auburn. You go back and look at Mississippi State, how close they were to winning that game early in the season, how different it might have been. Pass is caught, and again, Manziel with so many options, finding Malcolm Kennedy, already has a touchdown catch today, ahead for 11 yards and a first down.
Texas A&M likes to be able to run those crossing routes, and one of those options that you mentioned, Tim, is Mike Evans, and he's got 3 catches for 30 yards. We've yet to see his explosiveness, but you get the feeling it's coming.
Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time, and it's knocked away incomplete. Tevez Calhoun, nice work getting back. The ball hung up a little bit that time on Johnny. And he's clenching that fist again, as he did a few games ago. He's been tweaked. That's just a wonderful defensive play.
Really impressed with Calhoun to being able to get that. And you watch when Johnny Manziel throws a football at times, it does have a tendency to flutter on him. But grabbing that hand there, he's had some issues with that this year. You wonder if that's affecting his ability to throw the football.
On 2nd and 10, he decides to tuck it, but he stumbles at about the 27-yard line. It's a 3-yard gain.
Footing on Kyle Field today has been an issue, but you see right there with good press and pressure up front, and that was Chris Jones, number 96, resetting the line of scrimmage.
That was Manziel's thumb.
Bam, just catches him on the right side of his helmet or shoulder pad. On the center, Mike Matthews there. Pretty good player that a true freshman, Chris Jones was pushing backwards.
3rd and 8. Manziel, late decision to go to Molina. We got a late flag coming down in the backfield.
Tim, that's the difference between Johnny Manziel this year and last year. Last year he would have ran it. This year he's keeping his eyes downfield.
They're going to say he went beyond the line of scrimmage?
Holding.
No, it's holding.
Number 75.
And it's Jake Matthews, the team captain.
Repeat, 3rd down.
Older brother of Mike Matthews, and both the sons of the perennial All-Pro and Hall of Famer Bruce Matthews.
So far today, we've seen holding calls on the 2 best linemen on both of these teams. Earlier, Gabe Jackson got called for holding. We talked about those 4 weapons. You have to have your feet and hands at the right place. And sometimes when you get your hands outside or you get beat, to make up, to try and recover, you just grab a little bit more than you should.
He's back at left tackle today. Had moved to right tackle because of the loss of Cedric Ogbuehi for a couple of games. 6 defensive backs now for the Bulldogs on 3rd and 18.
They got to find a way to get themselves off this field here, Timmy.
Here comes the blitz off the corner, and he gets away from it. Manziel continues to dance, and finally he's put down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. The corner blitz started it all. McKinney decided to polish up number 50. But this was a great coverage sack, too.
No question. And the reason why this works is keep your eyes downfield. The defensive backs do not come off of their receivers. Right there is where Johnny Manziel makes all of his hay. This is where he's dangerous. But tremendous coverage downfield combined with the defensive linemen staying in their rush lanes forced the big play.
The boot is low, something that Jamion Lewis can work with. He is a talent. Taken down at the 50-yard line. And we got a late flag right at the sidelines, and this is going to make that decision to punt by Dan Mullen an awfully good one. You were right, I was wrong. They're going to get this ball around the 35-yard line of Texas A&M.
With 2:40 left and all 3 timeouts, this is a great and very important drive for Mississippi State.
During return, personal foul, face mask. Number 5, penalty is 15 yards, first down.
That's the second time Floyd Raven Sr. has been whistled on special teams. Johnny Manziel, right off of Mike Matthews' helmet. His right thumb, the throwing hand thumb, was affected. He's had a few tweaks with the shoulder and the ankle this year. Now it's the throwing hand thumb. We'll be right back. Boy, will they be talking in Gainesville in the aftermath of that. By the way, this is not your granny's bandy. We know that because of what we saw a few weeks back. Missouri still leading the way. You know, we talked about Manziel's injury scares this year. One of the reasons many believe this could be his last game as a collegian in Kyle Field. It was a left knee that was tweaked, you might recall, against Ole Miss. A non-contact injury and very scary for a period of time. Came back and helped engineer the win. Then the throwing shoulder against Auburn was impacted. And of course the Tigers went on to win that game. In both cases he managed to come back. Now it's his thumb off of that long pass for Evans that hit off of the helmet of his center, Mike Matthews. A&M no points in this quarter, and a quarter dominated by Mississippi State. Great field position off of the personal foul, and Dak Prescott carries it ahead for 8-9. Look at that. Does that not remind you just a little bit of Tim Tebow running for Urban Meyer and Dan Mullen back in the day?
And that's why Mark Schneider, the defensive coordinator for the Aggies, probably didn't get much sleep tonight. Watch us in the open field, making people miss, and then running over 5, 6, 7 of the Aggies that are there to be able to try and tackle him. That's where number 15 is special.
And he's right-handed, and he carries it in his left hand as though he were left-handed. That was one of the things Mark Schneider pointed out to us.
Watching some old Florida films.
Yeah, Perkins off of the zone read takes it down to the 22-yard line of Texas A&M.
I love it. You got to be able to run the football, and Mark Schneider knows that his defense needs to be able to make a stop here because Texas A&M has the option to get the ball back at halftime. So if you're Mississippi State, you're down 7-16 on the road with your backs against the wall, knowing that you need to win 2 of your next 4 games to be bowl eligible. You need a touchdown here.
Ladarius Perkins bounces off one. Look out. Down the sidelines. Did he cross the pylon?
Didn't look like it, Timmy. Looked like he got stopped
at
short.
The 2.
They're going to mark it at the 2.
DeShazer Everett will get credit for the tackle. That's a 20-yard gain, and it's 1st and goal for the Bulldogs.
Great job of mixing up their play calling, and missed tackles again by the Aggies, costing them dearly.
Perkins again. Mississippi State trying to go to the left-hand side. Donnie Baggs, number 16, makes the stop. As we are once again taking a look at the Verizon Red Zone. This season, the Bulldogs have scored a touchdown on 68% of its red zone possessions, just above the national average of 63%.
Here they're making some personnel changes. If you're in that huddle right now, you're telling these guys, come on, offensive line, you got to either give me some room or give me some time and find a way to get this in.
This is Prescott's territory right here. This is the reason you go to this offense.
Empty backfield, watch his legs.
Bingo. A jump pass, a la Tebow. Touchdown to De'Runyan Wilson. That was right from the Dan Mullen, Urban Meyer playbook.
I feel like I'm in a time warp here. And just as I said, watch his legs in that empty formation. That's exactly what Texas A&M's defense was thinking, and that's why that play call was run to perfection. Excellent job by the Bulldogs.
Wilson has been on the receiving end of a number of catches today. That's the 4th reception for him. Evan Sobieski with the extra point. And a well-timed touchdown for the Bulldogs to cut it to 2 in the last minute of play of the opening half. The old Utah pass. That's what they called it many moons ago, League Rose Cup. That one, though, reminds us of Tebow. Tremendous moment for Dak Prescott off of the outstanding field position, too. And let's not forget the face mask penalty that helped set it up. 35 yards, 5 plays. And Wilson, the freshman from Winona High School, Birmingham, Alabama, off the jump pass.
This is what the threat of a run game can do to Runyon Wilson, taking advantage, beating Number 5, Floyd Raven Sr. right off the snap, getting that inside position, and Prescott putting it on him. And that a way to go get that football for just a freshman. Number 81 made a big play at the end of this second half. Now it's time for the Bulldogs defense to hold, because remember, Texas A&M gets this ball back to start the second half. They can't afford to give them 2 free looks at the end zone.
Yeah, you got to remember, that's a lot of time for Johnny Manziel to work with. A whole lot of time. 3 timeouts remaining, too. Bell's boot is taken. Martin Molina. Molina stopped at the 23-yard line. 17-yard return. And we touched on Dan Mullen's magnificence with both Chris Leak, who's now an assistant coach, and Tim Tebow, who's looking for his phone to ring. Back in the day, he led that 2-quarterback system to a national championship in 2006. And really, when you think about it, the key victory, the one real signature win, if you want to call it that, was for Mullen when he went back and won 10-7 against Urban Meyer's club in Gainesville after becoming head coach at Mississippi State.
He's going to run.
Yeah, yes, he is, as only he can. Taken down at the 41-yard line by Bernard McKinney, number 50. A pickup of 16 yards.
And a stoppage of the clock. Not that.
He's grimacing. He is fighting it a little bit here.
And that's what concerns you on the next level about Johnny Manziel. So much of his production comes when the play breaks down. Can you do that through a 16-game season on the NFL? Hard to say.
There's the quick screen. Going to Molina. Senior from Cedar Hill, Texas. Pickup of 7. And again, plenty of clock to work with here.
No question. And this Bulldog defense has been susceptible to big plays over the top. They're pressed up top and with some space down here at the bottom. They like their one-on-one matchups.
A pump fake and then a streak right down the sideline. Darrell Walker. Darrell has it right in lockstep with his quarterback, the senior from Hillsboro, Texas.
Jamerson Love is their best cornerback, but he certainly didn't look like it on that play. Walker with the double move, smoked him.
Yeah, he got deked. And you got to give, again, Manziel, even when he has those moments where he gets tweaked, this or that might happen to him, he always fights back. He is some competitor. Well, how many players, let's cue the duck again. How many players won the Heisman while playing for Bear Bryant? Your answer. The pride of Spring Hill, Louisiana, John David Crow.
J.D. Crow.
1957 was the year of the Junction Boys, and in the bright center you'll see a wonderful display of John David. What a remarkable career he had. Spent many of those years with the 49ers in the National Football League. Who would have thought with that incredible career for Bear that he would have only had one, and it would have been at Texas A&M. Got close a few times at Alabama, but never a recipient.
They're down here in the red zone. This Mississippi State Bulldog defense has been susceptible to runs to the left side, but again, in empty, you got to watch screen and you got to watch number 2's getaway sticks.
Over the middle, touchdown. Second TD of the day for Labhart, 4 in the last 2 games, and it is senior day for that young man from Dallas, Texas, who learned how to play every receiving position, which has enabled him a chance to pad his stat sheet today.
Yeah, no question, Timmy. And once again, the Mississippi State Bulldog defense in man coverage and getting beat several times. They've been susceptible there.
Feed and fan the seniors. First, it was Darrell Walker ahead for 40 plus. And then the quick look into Labhart. Like a basketball game, they can score in a hurry, get plenty of rebounds and turnovers. We'll be back. Take a look at this touchdown play. 4 plays, 75 yards, just 38 seconds off the clock. Second straight game with 2 touchdown receptions for the senior. And this was a simple out and up that set this touchdown up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Walker, the senior, that did a great job of being able to take advantage. Number 5, Jamerson Love. That's what you want to be able to do, and that's something that Mississippi State knew coming into this ball game, Tim, that they had to do. They had to limit the big play ability of Texas A&M, make them earn it.
Yeah.
And on that series they didn't, and it's costly because now they only have 16 seconds, albeit with 3 timeouts, to be able to try and get some more points, because Texas A&M is going to get this ball back to start the second half.
Yeah, they were just that close to being down only 2 at the half. Johnson comes away with a squib kick and needs to get down before something catastrophic happens, and does. Well, a reminder coming up on the Geico halftime report. Adam Zucker is sitting in the big chair today with Spencer Tillman and Brian Jones. They'll get you caught up on all the scores and highlights. Let's have a preview of number 13 LSU, number 1 Alabama, as the Crimson Tide continue their quest for a 3rd straight national title. That's all coming up on the Geico halftime report. Magnificent day in the Brazos. Wonderful to be back here in College Station, Texas. They really love their football. They get 109,000 in here in a couple of years. Once they've done that $250 million facelift, this place will be something even more special. Prescott takes a knee, and we've come to the end of the first half. Manziel very quietly with 232 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and 46 yards on the ground. Very well done. All things considered, Prescott, given what he's gone through this week, has really handled it very well. But this is a different kind of team that is so very explosive. Been leaving a few extra seconds on the clock at the end of the half can be devastating for you. Let's go down to Christina Ackworth. Christina.
All right, thanks, Tim. Coach, not 1 but 2 touchdowns for Travis Labhart today. Talk about this final drive to get some points on the board with just minutes to go in the first half.
You know, we moved the ball all day. We had a couple bad drives, turned one over in the red zone. And just got back in sync there. Got a big play down on a double move to get the thing started. So you know, we just got to take control of the game. If we just get a couple more stops to start the 3rd quarter, we start with the football. We got to make a statement when we come out.
You're looking for your defense to step up after some recent confidence they've gained. What have you seen for them in the first half?
We've been good at times and bad at times. We've left them out there too long. Put them in bad positions on short fields. A couple silly penalties. You know, we got to clean that stuff up. We'll address that at halftime, and we got to start fast in the 3rd quarter.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Yes, he likes to play fast, but he's college football coaching's cool hand Luke. And why wouldn't you be? Kevin Sumlin's team getting it done with the help of Johnny Manziel. That's the end of the first half. 23-14 our score. Now let's get to at halftime, Texas A&M with a 9-point lead against a spirited group of Bulldogs from Starkville, Mississippi. Let's go down to Christina Ackworth, standing by with Dan Mullen.
All right, thanks, Tim. Coach, they made another touchdown here at the end, made a run, but you guys have been in this game. What did you see in the first half?
Well, you know, we've played hell. We knew we were going to battle. Know it's going to be a 4-quarter fight. Really disappointed our 2-minute defense there. That's really hurt us all year in giving up those scores and momentum right before half. But we got to come out and play the second half hard.
What was the message in the locker room?
It's a 4-quarter fight. We got to finish, and we got to believe we're going to win this game here. That's what it's all about.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And the good news is Dak Prescott has performed admirably given all that he's gone through, but that has been a problem. 4 times this year that's happened in the last minute of the first half to Mississippi State.
And that's really been the story of their season, is inconsistency.
Yeah.
There were some bright spots today, but there were also some spots like in the 2-minute defense where they broke down. They've got to come out here and get a stop to be able to get this ball back. Last week against South Carolina, half of the Gamecocks' possessions went to a 3-and-out. They've got to be able to find a way, Timmy, to defensively make a play, get this ball back, and they've also got to throw the football downfield. They've only got 59 pass yards so far. They've got to be able to stretch the field vertically. To beat Texas A&M, you got to score points. I think Mississippi State needs to get more aggressive offensively, but it starts with the run game.
Devin Bell to kick it away with Devontae Harris and Ben Molina back deep. And it's going to be taken by an up back off the bounce at the 23-yard line for Texas A&M. As Caden Smith, the reserve tight end, takes it out of bounds. If you look at the first half stats in this game, The second quarter was really owned by Mississippi State, but again, another big drive late by Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, no question. You look at the disparity between Mississippi State offensively. They've been able to get some success running the football, but throwing the football they haven't. But again, Johnny Manziel, they've outscored their opponents by 83 points here in the second half so far this year. The Bulldogs need to get one.
Ben Molina, the lone setback, burrows ahead to the 31-yard line. Beniquez Brown, 42, and very active in this game at the linebacker position. They're without Deontay Skinner, who is their best linebacker, as a fluid situation that's begun to build up on his spinal cord, and was a late scratch this week. We wish him all the best. That's obviously a very delicate situation that they're taking a look at. On second down, Manziel in trouble and engulfed way back at the 15-yard line. P.J. Jones cutting through there, the junior from Tupelo, 3-year starter, known as a run stuffer. That time a big sack.
Yeah, he comes off the top side edge. The tackle comes off of him and leaves the original guy he was blocking in slide protection. You have to have guys that account for their gaps. That time Mississippi State just being aggressive from the backside, and the Aggie offensive line not being gap sound.
Yeah, he beat Jermaine Affetti, the freshman, on that play. Manziel looping it deep in traffic again. Evans, that basketball player that he is, feels like every one of those is his. It's like a rebound for Dennis Rodman. I'm going to go get it, even against triple coverage.
And that's Johnny Manziel's room dog. These guys are roommates on the road. But, Tim, this is a second week in a row that Evans and Manziel have been out of sorts. Last week, there was a lot of times he was targeted, didn't come down with the football. That relationship and love between 13 and 2 has been off for the second week in a row, and that's the stop that Mississippi State needed. Now they got to convert.
A flag. It'll be roughing the kicker. They sent everyone after it. Lewis is down at the 23-yard line. They came very close to getting a piece of it.
Foul, roughing the kicker. Defense number 24. The penalty is 15 yards from the previous spot.
It's against.
It includes an automatic first down.
There's that inconsistency that we talk about, Tim.
There it is. Deontay Evans was the guy that got back there too soon, 24.
You just can't afford to do this. You have to go and block a spot. Unless you're absolutely sure you can get it. You dive in front of the punter's foot so that you can do the very thing here.
And those are the little things that keep you at or around 500 or below. You know, you just can't afford that kind of mistake against a team as lethal as this offensively.
No question, because you look at the stat sheet, that's only their second penalty of the game, but look how costly it was.
Yeah. Trey Williams is in the backfield now in motion. Manziel looking to find room himself and is going to get ahead for about a yard, maybe. Well, no, they're going to say nothing. Lost a yard on that play. It'll be 2nd and 11. Hey, this state defense last week against South Carolina, they had a lot of short fields that they had to defend. They have really improved over the course of this season. You check them out and unpack them before a game, and they are better than their record indicates. A pass is thrown by
intercepted.
Tipped and intercepted. It's Jamerson Love again coming down with it off the tip drill.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to be able to find a way to make a play, and Darrell Walker, number 11, has to ring this ball in because of this very thing. Mississippi State been getting blowed out on man coverage all day long, but because of the location of the football, 11's not able to bring it in. Walker, and number 5, Jamerson Love, who's been getting torched all game, comes up with a huge play.
Boy, is it ever. Off the tip, and the hit was made. It was a very good pressure defensively that really opened that opportunity up by A.J. Jefferson, number 47. That was the pressure that caused the turnover. And Prescott bangs ahead to about the 45-yard line. Gain of 2.
Ooh, I got to catch my breath.
I was gonna say,
I hope the Bulldogs are as excited as I am. I don't have a dog in this fight, but man.
I was going to say, if that wasn't stereo, folks, the first intercepted was my color analyst. Ladarius Perkins remains in the backfield.
Because I've been on the road in these situations, man, and those are the types of plays you got to make, and Mississippi State just made one. They've got to convert this.
2nd and 8. curl. Nicely done by Derunya Wilson, 81. Inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. So just as the mistake was made by special teams, the favor has been returned by the State defense with the turnover. Second interception thrown by Manziel. And if they can convert here, these Bulldogs will begin to believe.
No question. I think we just saw the tremendous passing skills by this quarterback. Here's this diamond formation again. They ran 3 times out of it. Did they go to play action?
Yes, they do. And deep. Johnson incomplete. Just beyond his outstretched arms. He was defended well by Devontae Harris, the sophomore from Mesquite, Texas. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Good eye discipline that time by Texas A&M's defense. It was just a matter of time, because of the success that they had setting that up, running the football, that they took a shot over the top. To play good defense, you got to be disciplined with your eyes, and the Aggies were there.
You see the comparison with the 2 quarterbacks. Prescott moved up to 50% in the air, 4 out of 8. More dangerous as a runner, obviously. He does have a strong arm, though. A little shallow cross, incomplete. He's going for Brandon Holloway. That's actually a pass they prefer throwing to Jamion Lewis because he's got such speed. When number 4 checks into the game, that little 5-yard shallow cross can turn into a 20-yard gain in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Mississippi State might go some empty here, get some speed on the field. This is a big 3rd down when they're knocking on a door. Big play by their defense. The offense has to find a way to convert this.
You only need to get half of it, or are you thinking 4-down territory?
I think so at this point in the game.
Prescott, look out. Well, he is very close to the 1st down yardage. Gavin Stansberry, 72, their top defensive lineman, the defensive end from Franklin, Louisiana, makes the stop. It is a 1st down, a gain of 11.
Screens, draws, and delays. To me, when you have a mobile quarterback that can use his legs, this is the 2nd time he makes players miss in the hole. Missed tackling again, hurting the Aggies. Nate Askew missed that tackle, and it was a costly one to keep the Bulldogs alive.
Boyha comes away with a tackle. No gain on that play. Let's take a look at the Verizon red zone for Prescott as he gets ready to set up shop here. 22 touchdowns. That percentage is 6 percentage points ahead of the national average.
Remember, Timmy, the 2 teams that beat this team, Alabama and Auburn, scored an average of 47 points. Mississippi State can't take a field goal here. They need 7.
Perkins tripped up again by Stansberry, and a marker down. We'll check the flag. Gain of only a yard.
Holding offense, number 66.
Ben Beck with 66.
Repeat 2nd down.
Out of Benton, Mississippi is the guilty party. That'll set them back. You know, these are those opportunities you can't let get away.
It's going to spike inside, and when he flashed there, he's got him. He's got that hand outside and just pulls him down.
And he still couldn't stop the tackle. Stansberry still came up with it by the shoelaces. 2nd and 20.
Now remember, earlier in this game, Mississippi State was trying to attack the perimeter with bubble screens. This would be a perfect time for a tailback screen or a slip screen.
Prescott. Boy, again, that was another one of those, you know, trying to sort of shot put it to Robinson, and it could have been bounced around and intercepted.
Tim, I'm in
Very
these guys' head. This is exactly what it is they're trying to do. Run a tailback screen out to the field from the left hash. They've got it there, but look at the Texas A&M defenders crash on it. That's, again, another perfect example of being well coached and using eye discipline. Mark Snyder's got to be happy with his players so far from that aspect of this game.
It's Johnson to the top of your screen, Lewis to the bottom. It's 3rd and 20. Robinson the lone setback. Prescott looks towards the sidelines. for Robinson, the safety valve. He stopped at the 25-yard line. Negligible gain and decision time for Mullen.
Yeah, that was number 4, Tony Hurd Jr. He's a captain on this football team. He's a playmaker. 5th on the teams in tackles. We had an opportunity to sit down with him and talk to him a little bit. Told us that one of the things that Kevin Sumlin talked about was don't try and be the man, be a man. And certainly he was on that play as Mississippi State tries to get some points out of a great turnover from their defense.
This is big. Sobiesk hasn't had many opportunities. A freshman, his longest is 38. This is 40, and it's blocked. That negative play was huge. The holding against Beckwith that backed him up. You had to figure he really wanted that to be 4-down territory, but with 18 yards to get, far too much. Kick was a bit low. The Aggies turn him away. And Johnny Manziel dodges a bullet, as does that coach. Wayne Harden, the coach, the great Roger Staubach. Instant replay invented for Roger the Dodger, but it turned out to be Stitchway who stole the show. All of that will be discussed. Very good friend and legal analyst to CBS News, Jack Ford, has put a lot of time and heart and soul into this program. I know you're going to love it. We had a chance to visit about it a week or so ago. There you see the story of our game. Takeaways. Mississippi State unable to get anything out of it.
They can't convert. It's just been a series of missed opportunities and miscues that really hurt the Bulldogs today. They turned the football over too. Remember, there was a 4th and 1 stop and a blocked field goal. To me, is a turnover.
Five wides and an empty backfield for Johnny Football again. Dink and dunk time goes to 84. Malcolm Kennedy. Out to the 40-yard line. We'll see how the State defense responds. Cedric Giles, number 13, the freshman, ushered him out.
Keep your eye on number 15, Travis Labhart. Doesn't get the football, goes to help his buddy out. When you are hunting DBs up downfield like that, you know you've got a good team and a good player to execute.
Manziel, seam route. And it's Labhart, who's been a favorite target today. 27 yards and another first down.
Mississippi State running a lot of closed middle defense, meaning a single high guy back there. Johnny Manziel doing a good job of finding the holes, especially against that cover 3 look.
Pass incomplete. A bit overthrown towards the sideline. Incomplete. It was intended for Walker as you look at the scoring by quarter this season.
Texas A&M's been explosive, but that last throw that we saw, and we know that Mississippi State certainly has been not. I mean, it's been feast or famine, respectively, for both of these teams. But Mississippi State had an opportunity to change some of those numbers. But that last throw we just saw by Johnny Manziel was a deep out from the far hash. That is the benchmark for quarterback arm strength on the next level, and it was off target.
Late whistle, flag down.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
That's been one of the problems for Texas A&M this year. Now, that time it was Matthews that was whistled, but Affetti's had some problems with it. The guard, 74. It has stymied many a drive this year for Texas A&M. This is the second penalty on Matthews, who, speaking of the next level, is considered to be one of the best at his position. He's played every position on the offensive front.
Gotta hold your water. Zone read or lead here.
On 2nd and 15, they go screen. Crowd appreciates the senior, Funky Ben Molina. Someone loves it when I say that.
I love it when you say it.
He's ahead for 13 yards.
So many mixed messages.
Sometimes you just have to remind people of music in the early 80s or mid 80s. You know, you just have to do it. 3rd down and 2.
Perfect time for Mississippi State to get a stop. I think they should bring pressure here, and they do.
Feed and fan the senior. Molina again. Should be enough for the first down.
They brought pressure from the boundary, but it was just too little, too late.
Richie Brown, 39, who's playing that spot vacated by Deontay Skinner. Freshman from Long Beach, Mississippi, made the tackle.
Looking at the body language of Mississippi State, they're feeling it right now. They haven't been able to stop this offense. They have to be able to find a way to pin their ears back and get themselves off the field, or at least force a field goal.
Well, they haven't had much help from the offense when they have gotten stopped.
There it is.
Manziel flushed again. Finds his man at the 10. It's Kennedy again. Malcolm, touchdown.
This is unbelievable. This is where Johnny Manziel excels and is so fun to watch. When the play breaks down, the communication that he has with his receivers and his ability to find the open guy in the zone and execute the scramble drill, in my opinion, is unparalleled in college football.
You could go to the Sunset Strip and not find anything better at the Improv than Johnny Manziel on a football field. Malcolm Kennedy with his second TD strike of the day. This is no joke. Johnny, be good. We'll be back. Here on campus, the 12th Man Kickoff Team Foundation Banquet honored R. Bowen Lofton, the outgoing president of Texas A&M. Mike Slide, the commissioner of the SEC, was also on hand. Tremendous evening as they roasted him, and we touched on Jackie Sherrill. Oh, Jackie, after coming over from Pittsburgh for a whopping $250,000 a year, decided to implement the 12th man as something beyond what it had been before. And to have all of those guys, the walk-ons that have become members of the 12th man, assembled in one night was something really special.
No question, man. I mean, think about what the 12th man represents.
Yeah.
You know, readiness, willingness.
Taylor Bertolette will kick it away.
That's what this game's all about.
Jamion Lewis, Robert Johnson back deep. This one is going to come down to Johnson a few yards deep, and he'll take a knee. State will bring it out to the 25-yard line. When Sherrill was at Texas A&M, they owned the series against Texas. He is revered in this town, much like Gene Stallings is revered. And here's the 12th man once again. And this is where they used him on the kickoffs. That was the idea all along. Sam Miller, who also has the block punt for a safety earlier today. You know, in the beginning, it was about all walk-ons. Let's get them all out there for the kickoff. And then it moved down to a celebratory player per year, given the number 12. And that's something that will be etched in he and his family's gray matter for the rest of his life. Josh Robinson is a setback for Prescott. They really need to score here to keep this game manageable. He is really hammered from the belt forward by Tony Hurd, senior captain from Missouri City, Texas. Boy, he was proud of that ring he was showing us yesterday, wasn't he? He will graduate on time in economics. Unquestioned leader of this team.
That, my friend, is the way to come up. Prescott's got to be aware of where his guys are at on the field as well.
One pump fake and a wide open receiver that's overshot. Incomplete. It was intended for Joe Morrow. He was there. It was just thrown to the wrong shoulder.
Man, that's where Tyler Russell's accuracy, who came into this game completing 70% of his balls, would have been helpful.
Morrow was going sideline. Prescott was going inside. Third down 11. And they really need to pick up a first down here.
Yeah, Timmy, I'm thinking screen draw delay backed up at this point of the field. Texas A&M might dial up pressure. Remember, they had 9 sacks in their last 2 games, have yet to be able to affect the quarterback today.
Going for the jugular here. Prescott in some trouble and will be wrapped up at the 23 by Alonzo Williams. Now, the last thing you wanted to do was have to put your defense back out there that quickly. They needed a solid offensive sequence and did not get it.
And I'm wondering why Tyler Russell was not in the game and they put Dak Prescott out there. Dan Mullen knows how to work these two quarterbacks. When you consider you're down 16 points to this sort of offense, you're going to have to be able to throw the football to win. I don't think it'll be long before we see number 17 for the Bulldogs.
Devontae Harris waves everyone off on what was a high, poor punt with a bounce for the Aggies. Tremendous field position for Manziel after a 30-yard boot. We'll be back. Boy, this is really the first full opportunity for everyone to gravitate to Texas A&M as a new member institution in the SEC. Take into consideration how unspoiled this fan base is. Doesn't matter how large the lead, doesn't matter the caliber of opponent, it's packed. Absolutely packed. And they don't leave. And they don't stop yelling. And Johnny Manziel doesn't stop making plays. In some trouble again. That defense at times has given him trouble, but Narek McKinney brings him down. There's a late flag.
To Johnny Manziel.
Intentional grounding, offense number 2. The penalty will place the ball at the spot of the foul.
Wow, I thought
the loss of down.
I sort of thought he may have fumbled it on the way out of bounds. They're saying he was actually throwing it. So it's a loss of down here with intentional grounding.
What it looked like to me as well. There's pressure off to his left side. Number 50, McKinney, does a good job of mirroring him. A lot of times defenses will use an athletic player like McKinney to be able to.
Yeah, I guess it was a pass. Kind of like a shovel move to get rid of it. You can't do that going out of bounds.
Well, if you're outside the pocket,
call.
It's got to get at least up to the line of scrimmage.
Indeed. It was a good call. Brandon Williams is the lone setback, second down and 24. Nice to have a fourth string running back that's an Under Armour High School All-American like Brandon Williams. Stopped this time at the 30-yard line. Undercut by Will Redmond, sophomore from Memphis's East High School.
See Texas A&M really slowing down the tempo of their offense. They have multiple speeds of offense that they'll run. Anywhere from slightly hurry up to 2 minute to just an absolute flat NASCAR speed. Here they're slowing things down. It's 3rd and long. Getting the play. Tick, tick, tick.
They know how to back off the pedal when need be. They've had to do it in the past. Again, Manziel flushed. Chasing down. How about this? And go back for him and make the catch, and Walker does. It's what drove Nick Saban crazy. It's what forced him to say, I lost 10 years of my life trying to coach against you guys.
Tim, great pressure at that time by Preston Smith. There's no defense for this.
No.
How do you defend this? This is just straight up a textbook scramble drill. Deep comes back short. Show your numbers. Manziel puts the money or the ball on the money. He is best and most accurate when he gets rid of the football quickly under duress.
That was 26 for a first down on 3rd and 25. And again, Malcolm Kennedy ahead for a first down. Now listen, we made mention of this at the very top of our show. You think Tarkenton from the good old days. You think maybe a little bit about Staubach. No one was better 50 years ago, the Heisman winner. And Archie Manning in the SEC. I mean, he's a fixture on Mount Rushmore as quarterbacks go. But even Archie has said to me, yeah, but the guys running after Johnny are a little faster than the ones that ran after me.
Man, I mean, he's just unbelievable the way that he's able to scramble and be able to extend plays with his legs.
That pass may have been picked. It was. He didn't see Nico Whitley, the safety, coming over for help. And it's out of bounds to State at the 4-yard line.
Second time today, Johnny Manziel has turned the football over in the red zone. Cannot do it. And where's the excitement for Mississippi State?
Yeah.
Just waits too long to throw this football. He gets greedy. He shouldn't throw that football. You see him hits right there and double pump.
You know, interesting, because in the Alabama game, we were here for it, the game everyone looked forward to most. He made that incredible play getting away from Alabama linebacker after Alabama safety, right? And then he made the mistake on the fade route in the corner of the end zone. That turned that game around. The mistake came after he may have been winded after one of those incredible replays that we had of Scrambling as Prescott is stopped at the 8-yard line.
Because he's so good when he scrambles, Tim, it really makes me think he gets overconfident, does Manziel, after big plays. That's where he's in his element. And that's Dak Prescott throwing his body around with the week he's had. You can't help but be pulling for number 15 right now, unless, of course, you're an Aggie fan.
2nd and 7. Calls his own number again, and he has a first down and then some.
They love the quarterback power, the quarterback counter, pulling backside guards, just leading upfield, double teaming on the play side and big holes in the middle. And again, missed tackles by Texas A&M. They've been hit or miss so far, and you see Johnny Manziel saying, man, I wish I really didn't do that.
Yep.
Got him.
Preston out to the 32-yard line. The catch is made by Johnson. And that should be a first down. It is an 11-yard gain. And now Red Lobster presents today's Scholar Athlete. It is Dak Prescott. Hometown Houghton, Louisiana, just outside my home of Shreveport. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to the Mississippi State General Scholarship Fund.
That time Dak Prescott missed Jamion Lewis wide open on the hash.
Have you found the talkback switch yet? There goes Prescott again. Oh, this is it, but regathers it at the 49-yard line.
And take it. Get back up. You got to be able to protect the football. But this Mississippi State team now starting to have some momentum, and a big reason why is because of the play in number 15. But you have to be able to secure the football, especially in traffic. Hard to see who gets that.
This is an absolute must drive for the Bulldogs if they want to hang around. They got yet another pick. There have been 3 of them today of Manziel. They got nothing out of it. Now this time they got the ball at their own 3-yard line, but a long drive here could really restore order for them. And a beautiful pass caught again for Mississippi State. Wonderfully done.
Yeah, I'd love that play call to be able to throw the fake bubble screen.
Nick James, B.J. Hammond, and others out on the receiving end of that one, a 19-yard gain.
When the corner and the safety bid on it, it opened up some space behind him on the corner route. Great play call and execution. Here's our diamond again.
Freddie Brown made that reception. And stopped again in his tracks at the line of scrimmage with Darius Perkins ahead for 2. Freddie Brown just being utilized for the first time in weeks has made 2 big-time catches. Number 86 for Mississippi State as they continue to shuttle in a number of new young receivers. He remains in the game, moving up to the top of your screen.
Texas A&M's defense looking a little winded. Mississippi State could take advantage of this.
Perkins remains in the backfield. And again, it's thrown for Brown. Back shoulder throw caught at the 11-yard line. This kid has been shot out of a cannon coming from nowhere from Jim Hill High in Jackson, Mississippi.
How about beating that press coverage, just being physical at the line of scrimmage to Shazer Everett in a perfectly located football by number 15. These freshman receivers to run you. Artemis Samuel, and right there, Fred Brown.
Well, they just took the red shirt off Samuel, and I gather there's a lot of those decisions being made in the latter going of this season by Dan Mullen. Players previously thought to be taking the year off, getting some playing time. It's an 85-yard drive so far. Is he going to find Wilson again? No, just a little too long, that pass for De'Runnya Wilson in the corner of the end zone.
Little too much mustard on that, but great read that time by Prescott. That was about his 3rd read. That's a catchable ball, but just outside the outstretched hands.
Yeah, you got to make that catch.
You got to bring that in, Timmy.
He's made a lot of them today, though. He's been the go-to guy. Over 100 yards in receiving, 6 receptions and a touchdown.
Run this into the boundary.
Looking that way for the corner. Perkins, touchdown. And we got a game again. And this time off the turnover by Manziel. They respond 90 plus yards, 96 yards after the INT. That 12-yard touchdown strike brings them to within 10.
That was big time, Timmy. That's what the Bulldogs needed. Going for two here.
Yeah. Little Emory Henry go for two action, but this one's going to be tipped into the air and picked off. And the score will remain 30-20 as Stephen Jenkins comes away with the pick in the end zone for A&M. Lots of time remaining, but Mississippi State feels good about things. That's a team that's got Gordon to go along with White. Boy, it's Gary Anderson's team. You look back at their season and the loss to Arizona State, given the way they lost it, that team is going to be considered far differently, I think, in the postseason if they can continue their season with two losses. The two-point conversion try, what did you make of it?
I thought it was a little premature. With a little bit of time left in the third, and you got the fourth quarter. You usually don't chase points for the fourth quarter. You get that, it makes it a one-possession game. To me, it smelled of a little bit of desperation. It was there. He just needed a little bit more air underneath the football by Prescott, and that would have been a touchdown.
Interestingly, earlier this season against Auburn in that very narrow loss they had, Mullen went for two early. It wound up costing him in that game late as the Tigers scored. And many had thought that Mullen went too quickly because Gus Malzahn had done the same and made his, and he didn't get his two-point try. 30-20 our score. And the wind once again blows the ball off the tee for Devin Bell. Devontae Harris, Ben Molina is back deep along with Trey Williams. Tell you, if you had said late third quarter, 44 seconds, you're down just 2 scores, would State have taken it? I think they probably would have. Trey Williams hammered at the 25 with flags down. And we may have a block in the back or a clip, which may be backing them up inside their 15-yard line.
Holding, number 81, return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Nehemiah Hicks is guilty. Reserve tight end. Well, it's an all-new night of comedy on CBS, beginning with How I Met Your Mother and Two Broke Girls, followed by a new Mike and Molly and Mom. It all starts Monday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS.
Tim, you said with Mississippi State being down by 10 on the road to a Johnny Manziel-led football team, they would have taken it. But I tell you what, I saw a lot of good things on film from this Mississippi State team. They have played in bunches. Lots of good stuff at lots of good times, but they've yet to put it all together. Right here, as we head into the fourth quarter, would be a perfect spot for them to be able to do it.
Manziel looking for another electrifying play from Evans, and the Rooney's got it with plenty of room to go with it. Hello, how do you do?
You see the cornerback bit on the slip screen, the bubble screen, and that put him out of position, leaving Mike Evans wide open. You simply can't do that. Justin Cox has to be more disciplined with his eyes because he might have just put the dagger into his team's heart.
Trey Williams right through the middle, touchdown. Well, that took all of 32 seconds. 90-yard drive, answering a 96-yard drive, but 32 seconds is all it took.
Hey, maybe that's why Dan Mullen went for 2.
Yeah, I think he may have had that in mind. You're playing against Johnny Manziel. Lambeau's kick is good.
But to my point, Tim, Simple breakdowns by one player. Coaches would love if all 11 players had their breakdown on the same play, but when it's onesie-twosie, like it's been for Mississippi State today and all season long, you're not going to win a lot of ball games when that happens. Here's Evans right here. You're going to see the corner. Cox bite on what he thinks is going to be a slip screen. Then he tries to fall back and get himself in the position. The safety comes over to be able to help out on the other hash. I mean, this is too easy. It's like flag football right now. Mississippi State in their back end is getting torched, letting guys virtually run uncontested wide open. And then Trey Williams answers with the run. And it was not flinching that Mississippi State knew that they needed to be able to do. After a big play, don't flinch. Get back up, lined up, make another play, and A&M gashed them.
In defense of this Mississippi State defense, Jeff Collins, their defensive coordinator, and assistant head coach Tony Hughes, they would tell you against most teams, they are a blitzing, press man coverage principal team. But when you play against these guys, I mean, they've got you thinking, well, we've got to play zone no matter what, different kinds of zones, and maybe even consider going with 3 down linemen, even if you're a 4 down lineman team. I mean, he forces your hand to change.
Well, and I'll give you that, and it hadn't mattered what they've run tonight, Timmy. They've run a lot of closed middle field, meaning at least one guy in the middle, whether it's cover 1 or cover 3. It hasn't mattered what they've done. They've been getting torched.
Bertolet booms it once again through the end zone, and a reminder, tonight, LSU, Alabama. The Home Depot SEC on CBS. What a powerhouse this one will be. 2 teams that are designed to match up for magnificence whenever they're on the playing field. Mettenberger, McCarron, both on display. Zach had his coming out party in that defeat a year ago, but it was A.J. McCarron who led his team downfield, and with a marvelous screen against a pressure call from John Chavis, T.J. Yeldon took it the distance to break the Bayou's hearts. Josh Robinson in the backfield for Prescott on 1st and 10. Look out. Dak is back. And yes, he's got speed to boot. All the way down to the 31-yard line before being run down by Devontae Harris.
He's banged up a little bit, Timmy.
44 yards on that carry. Looks to be shaking it off pretty well.
We talked about at the top of the show what Dak Prescott brings to this team. What an emotional week that he's had with the unfortunate passing of his mother, Peggy. But he's really been the heart and soul of this team.
And he's got some of that Kyle Field turf that they'll be selling at the end of this game after that 44-yard run. It only took 32 seconds for A&M to answer a 96-yard drive. How long will it take Mississippi State? We'll be back. The tradition, the history, the pageantry, and yes, the big plays. A Southeastern Conference and now Texas A&M tradition. The first of 2, the SEC on CBS today. How much fun is this environment, huh? I mean, 80,000 plus, not a seat available. And sometimes, yeah, they're yelling some things that none of us understand. And that's the way it's supposed to be, by the way. As you look at the scoring by quarter, we were touching on really how Mississippi State had acquitted themselves nicely in the second quarter, yet it was a 7-7 stalemate. They have had their moments here, and they need another one after that 44-yard run by Dak Prescott to close out the third quarter. This is yet again, you got to score with Johnny Manziel if you're going to win. I mean, that's the truth. Josh Robinson is the lone setback. They go reverse. Jadion Lewis can pass off this. He will. Looking long. It's a touchdown. Joe Morrow. That one was in their hip pocket all week long, and Dan Mullen picked the perfect time to pull it out.
And what a lot of people misunderstand, this is just going to be a reverse pass. is that these aren't trick plays. They don't work because you trick people. Look at that bullet. That's a perfectly thrown football and a perfectly executed special that Mississippi State dialed up and delivered on.
Well, the junior from Tylertown High School, Tylertown, Mississippi, has a great arm, tremendous speed, an impact player for the future, without a doubt. He's sort of a Tavon Austin in waiting when you think about his skill set.
I mean, Texas A&M bit hook, line, and sinker there.
Did they ever?
But goodness, I mean, I'm impressed with that throw. That's on the money.
Well, he's had 2 touchdown passes to Dak Prescott this season. A 36-yard score against Troy and a 17-yard touchdown against Kentucky.
I mean, he's a huge playmaker.
Oh, absolutely he is.
Runs them, catches them, throws them. What else can you do with them?
All right. The graphics have to put up something, all right? So we will say it's trick, at least for the layman out there. Prescott taking it in. That was against Troy. Here against Kentucky again, right when the guys from the Commonwealth were making a move in that game for Mark Stoops. Prescott kind of closed down that deal off the pass from Jamion Lewis as well.
Both those we looked at were a little bit underthrown, but they were effective. That last one?
That was a dart.
That was a dart.
Yep. Yeah, that young man's got a whale of a future, too.
All right, Texas A&M, let's see what you got.
Devin Bell will kick it away. Molina and Williams are the safeties. Trey Williams 3 yards deep. Uh-oh, a lot of room wide.
That's gone.
Trey looking to take it to the house. And he will. We do have a flag.
Might be excessive celebration.
Well, he dove into the end zone.
Yeah. And you can dive if you feel like you're under duress, and you need to do that to be able to score. Tremendous run regardless. What a fun player Trey Williams is to watch.
Ken Williamson, our referee, someone's talking to him a little bit about it. I don't believe he was under duress. He may have been tired.
Prior to the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3 of the return team.
Yeah.
The penalty is 15 yards from the 3-yard line. That's the spot the runner leaped from. It'll be first down, Texas A&M.
And by rule, when you call attention to yourself, and in that case it was a flip into the end zone, that's all that necessitates the celebration penalty. So again, a good call. I've had debates about this one for years. When you're being chased, and let's say it's not Devin Bell, but it's someone else, maybe a safety, that has an angle on you, and maybe you do need to dive to get in.
And Tim, remember the curmudgeon rule. Points come off the board when that happens. That was a change they made not too long ago. That was a crucial mistake by Williams.
Yeah, and by rule, it's a good call. Fans don't like it, but that's the rule. And it's been put in play for a couple of years now. You got to know that rule. Molina stopped at the 14-yard line. Again, good execution of the rule by the officiating crew here.
No question they were on top of it. You see Kevin Sumlin having a little word to him.
You might recall it first happened to Brad Wing, the punter for LSU, on a fake punt in a game we had on CBS. Molina in the backfield, and it is Johnny Manziel all the way down to the 2-yard line. So officially that return for Trey Williams was 97 yards.
Yeah, and Kevin Sumlin's one of those type of coaches that he keeps his players accountable. He's got something that he calls the truth tape, where he really holds guys accountable and shows his team as a team, both good plays and bad ones. You better be sure Trey Williams is going to be on that tape this week.
Bootleg action for Manziel. Dumps it down. It's caught. Touchdown. Nehemiah Hicks. Well, that bootleg action, when you got Manziel off the edge,
forget about it.
That's very hard to defend.
Have fun with that, Mississippi State.
Took a little longer than anticipated, but the answer did come in a heartbeat. 4 touchdowns in the last minute and 50 seconds of our game.
Good night.
Track meet officially underway. And it's hard to get in one of these against that guy and his Aggies.
Just a tremendous job by this team, buddy.
Hicks, senior from Hutto, Texas, solid blocker, gets his chance to dance. I caught a touchdown on senior day. 5th touchdown pass, tying a career high for Johnny football. 44-27.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
This may be the Evelyn Wood speed reading version of it. All right, Johnny football to Malcolm Kennedy. Oh, yes, he's on the loose again. And then here comes Josh Robinson. 1 play, 51 yards. All of a sudden, it's a tie game. And then comes the 12th man, Sammy Miller. San Antonio's pride of the 12th man. And then Dak Prescott makes a big play here.
Dak Prescott playing with so much heart and soul, really broke this game open, or excuse me, that series rather, with his play. Took a little bit of grass to the turf, but that just shows you the tremendous heart and determination that he's playing with. And then the old razzle-dazzle, Jamion Lewis putting the football on the money.
Joe Morrow on the receiving end, off the reverse pass, only to see Trey Williams take the ensuing kickoff. 97 yards officially after diving into the end zone. Points taken away because of the penalty, the celebration penalty, but they were able to punch it in with Nehemiah Hicks. 13th straight game with 40-plus points, most in NCAA football since 1980.
And Tim, that's what good teams do. It's punch, counterpunch. The difference between Texas A&M and Mississippi State is that Texas A&M has responded every single time Mississippi State has gotten any momentum, and Mississippi State has self-imploded. It's easy for me to say.
Bertolet booms it down to Jamion Lewis. And he stopped at the 20-yard line. You know, the players, especially young ones like Prescott, you know, the mano-a-mano opportunity as a young quarterback from tiny Houghton, Louisiana, a chance to go against the reigning Heisman winner and a guy that's competing to win it again. I mean, this is like the last 13-47 are going to be a joy for this youngster. You know, he's embracing the opportunity. And 17 points with the style of play that we have going on right now is, as they say, not undoable if you happen to be the Bulldogs. Jamion Lewis on the quick hitch. Ahead to the 27-yard line. And let's go back to New York for an update. Here's Adam Zucker.
All right, it's a Ford update, Tim. Nebraska going to the big house and giving Brady Hoke his first home loss as Wolverines head coach. Amir Abdullah sneaking in. Huskers take it 17-13. Nebraska and Michigan State next week for first in the Legends, Tim.
All right, thank you for that Ford update, Adam. Ladarius Perkins is in the backfield, and it's Prescott keeping it himself yet again. And he's cut down at the 37-yard line, but another first down.
Yeah, Michigan's loss isn't going to help Ohio State out any. But again, Dak Prescott doing a good job of running the football. You see a lot of hands on hips for the Texas A&M players right now. This is the sort of player that late in the game, in the fourth quarter, can put a beat down on a defense. They need this young man, number 1-5, to make some more big plays with his legs.
Johnson and Lewis flank to the top of your screen. Perkins in the backfield again. Play fake, and it's intercepted. Beautiful peel back by the linebacker to take that one away. Now, one of the more entertaining linebackers, Deshaun Hall, freshman from Lancaster, Texas. This is a young man that's at 6'4", 255, has a tremendous future in front of him. He peeled back beautifully here.
Yeah, turns, just didn't even see him. It was a fire zone. He was lined up on the in line of scrimmage. He should not have been there, but just a great play call and execution, and a costly mistake for Dak Prescott.
And really the first one that he's had today. You got to say that about the young man. With everything he's gone through this week, the 4 turnovers of the 5 committed by the team, that's really the first big-time blunder he's had today.
No question. And Deshaun Hall, number 10, the young man that picked that football.
Walker made that big catch on the out and up right before halftime that led to the touchdown to extend A&M's lead to 9. He's ahead for 4 yards. Career high for Johnny. You knew he wanted to put on a show. 5 touchdowns. He does have the 3 picks. But you got to take a little bit of the bad with the good. That's just who Johnny Manziel is as a quarterback at the collegiate level. Molina again burrows down to about the 22-yard line. We asked to speak with Johnny Manziel before the game. He politely declined. We can only speculate as to why. There's certainly a lot of decisions for him, a lot of football left to be played. Understandable, but conventional wisdom among many Aggies fans is that they may be not only watching their last game at this Kyle Field before it's reconstructed at the conclusion of this game, but they may be watching Johnny for the final time as well. And Mike Evans. And there's some offensive linemen that have decisions to make too. Molina gets ready for that running back screen to the boundary, and he's got it inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line. Tevez Calhoun tripped him up.
Malcolm Kennedy was helping him out on that, number 84 of that block. But Timmy, going back to Johnny Manziel, as we look at Dak Prescott there, he's got to be feeling that with the headphones on, talking upstairs. Going to be a lot of debate about whether or not number 2 is a next level player. Had some scouts in the NFL drooling over this young man.
Well, he's a difference maker. Whether you think he's a combine quarterback or not, he's certainly a difference maker down to the 2-yard line.
And I've had other guys tell me that they hope to goodness that somebody in their conference drafts him and decides to play him. So as divisive as Johnny Manziel's been off the field this season, it certainly seems that that's the case on the next level as well.
Well, I'll tell you this, Kevin Sumlin's quick to point it out, that so-called image of divisiveness does not exist in his locker room. Molina, does he get it in? Yes, he does. Touchdown. The extra point by Lambeau is good. I remember a time when they used to say we're going to hang half 100. I think it was old Barry Switzer that used to say that. Mississippi State has hung tough for a long time, but they'll make you pay for mistakes, and it's a half 101 right now. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by New York Life Insurance Company, Outback Steakhouse, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal, and by DirecTV. As they say, no rest for the weary, huh? Or in this case, no rest for Bully. 20-year-old handler Lisa Pritchard woke up the Mississippi State Bulldog at 4 a.m. yesterday. They drove 9 hours, and after a solid rest at the hotel, Bully has been fired up today. That's good to know. Got to stay in the spirit of things. Reveille is having a wonderful night. In fact, is kind of chilling out before the LSU-Alabama game now. We've got this one under control. Never really thought of mascot mismatches, okay, but there are some. This is a pretty good one when you think about it. Bully and Reveille, that's a decent matchup. That could go extra innings, that one.
I think I would either go with Cal or Baylor if I had to pick a mascot matchup.
It'll be a touchback as Lewis fields it, and it'll be out to the 25-yard line for Dak Prescott. Well, Tim Brando here along with Aaron Taylor and Christina Acra. Happy to have you with us, and make sure to join the conversation, won't you, at hashtag Hail State and hashtag TAMU. I got to get you on the Twitter thing. I got to get you going with that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You're late to the party.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
How about 5 combined touchdowns in the last 4 minutes and 52 seconds?
Hasn't taken long. 7 touchdown drives for A&M today, 6 of them in less than 2 minutes.
Where is the defense as we're seeing a 3-down, 5-box look from Texas A&M with pressure off the slot?
Prescott in trouble, dumps it to Robinson, the safety valve. Josh bounces off a couple of Aggies. Gets about 9 yards on a play that looked as though it would be stopped for about a 4-yard gain at best. Don't forget, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central. Number 13 LSU at number 1 Alabama. They moving quickly enough for you?
It seems like they're kind of being methodical, and maybe you want to get yourself into a rhythm here. That was a beautiful ball thrown by Dak Prescott. Came into this game completing 59% of his passes.
Well, he gets ahead, it looks like, for a first down here. Stephen Jenkins makes the stop. One of the problems with this zone read attack with a guy like Prescott, which is really Mullen's go-to game. I mean, this is the quarterback that he can build his offense around, and he's their future. But when you get behind by 3 touchdowns, this is a tough offense to come from that far down and be viable over time.
No question. At some point, you got to be able to throw the football vertically and have a passing game that can try and make up big points and big chunks. We saw Oregon have that ability late in that ball game against Stanford on Thursday night, but fell a little bit short. But it makes it really tough with a ground and pound zone read based offense like Mississippi State.
Running back screen again to Jamion Lewis. He's ahead for about 7 yards again.
This is a fun offense to watch, though, Timmy. I mean, as an offensive lineman, you're seeing 5, 6, maybe a 7-man box, really clean boxes. So the run looks you get are pretty basic, but it's power football. They spreading you out, but they're running power. They're running counter. They're running zone block schemes. As spread out as this is, it's still a physical style of offense up front.
Ahead to Shumpert. Ashton Shumpert gets ahead for a first down inside the 50-yard line.
Nice little run by Shumpert there. 6'2", 210-pound freshman out of Fulton, Mississippi. Great effort, great leg drive. And when you're in a game like this and you're down and clearly they're running the football, it is about pride as well. You want to be able to try and score some points, but there's something to be said about being physical and finishing the game on a high note, running the football.
Robinson running the stretch play and then tries to turn it up and does a nice job with it. A couple of yards shy of the first down, stopped by Deshaun Hall, who had the interception a moment ago that led to the Texas A&M touchdown.
And for people that are being critical of this play calling right now, it's 2nd and 2.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting big chunks running the football. It's just as good as if they pass, and what this does is it sets up the play action so you can take a shot over the top.
Johnson and Lewis are down at the bottom of your screen. They're the big play guys in the passing game. Prescott goes the other way and it's dropped. Moments like that.
Can't do it.
Yep. And Johnson dropped it again. And he's been one of their most consistent players this season. 2 drops today.
Can't do it. Mark Schneider dialed up a blitz. It was man-free coverage.
I mean, he's the guy. He's been targeted for passes 40-plus times. He's the second go-to guy, really behind Lewis in this offense in the passing game. 3rd and 2.
Take a shot up top.
Looks like they will. And the pass is wide of the mark.
4-down territory, no question. Don't even think about it. I love that last play call. It made sense. You knew that they were going to be stuffing the box for run. It was just a missed thrown pass. But now here on 4th down, feed it, baby.
Brown was the intended receiver. He leaves the game. Lewis is checked back in. Fred Ross has come into the game, number 8. On 4th down.
Timeout.
And A&M will take it.
Texas A&M, first timeout this half.
It's interesting, Tim. Texas A&M did a late stem on the defensive line right there.
7:41 remaining. Kevin Sumlin all smiles, and why wouldn't he be? They've gotten over 50 again. They do it more than anybody else. That would be a half bad moon rising in College Station, Texas right there. By the way, coming up, don't forget we've got our play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. And by the way, we have many candidates.
Man, there's been a lot of big plays in
Yes,
this
there
game.
have been. And you know, when you watch this game play out and you knew that this game meant a lot to the 13 seniors, but Mississippi State coming in, I think they still feel very optimistic about where they are and what their future holds. And for every response they gave, A&M came back with a howitzer.
Yeah, no question.
It was just unreal how they responded to every moment that Mississippi State looked to be capturing some momentum in the game.
Every time Mississippi State landed a jab, Texas A&M responded with a haymaker.
Yeah, they really did. 4th down and 2 after the timeout.
Got him.
Prescott looks for a wide open receiver, and it's caught. Is it Wilson again, the go-to guy all day? Yes, it is. And he's going to be stopped at about the 18-yard line. That one was almost overthrown. Beautiful effort here.
Unbelievable effort right there to be able to bring that ball in. Remember, Darunya Wilson had dropped a ball earlier that hit him in his hands, and he made so many plays tonight. But I tell you what, Prescott had a couple choices on that last one because number 4, Jamion Lewis, was wide open between the hashes as well.
5 catches for Wilson. That one goes for 24 yards. He does have a touchdown, too. Quarterback draw. There goes Dak again. Prescott all the way towards the boundary. He stayed in. It's a touchdown. Wow. I mean, that kid is a load. 18 yards, the scamper, coming off a crucial 4th down conversion.
We talked about Texas A&M's defense being tired. Well, I think we just saw it right there. That was a poor effort by them pursuing to the football and wrapping up when they got there. But all the credit goes to number 15, Prescott. Tremendous, tremendous run.
Might we have a review? Yeah, I think we may have a review. Kenny Williamson, our replay official, Robert Roju, will take a look at this one. I thought he got dangerously close to the sideline. Yeah, as I was calling the play, I felt he might have stepped out around the 2. Let's see. That's why I didn't give him the touchdown as quickly. Yeah, right there on the 1, actually. Yeah, he did. He did touch the. Yeah, that's right there. But where the ball is located, let's see if you'd have to wind it back a little bit. You have to back it up.
There's the line of scrimmage. Remember, all it has to do is break the front edge of the plane to be a touchdown.
We'd have to freeze it a little sooner than that. Yeah, right. Let's see. Right. Here we go. Yeah, I say, yeah, right there. That's definitive there. He stepped out. Ball's not over. So they'll bring this one back and line it up at the 1-yard line.
I don't know if that's a 1 or is it like at the
half-yard line, inside the 1. Yeah, inside the 1. But he's not quite there. Wonderful job by our production crew. Which, by the way, Robert Roju, the replay official, came in at halftime and we spoke, and he said, without the help of our friends in the truck, Jim Cornell, our director, and Sellershy, our producer, they were having some issues with their own equipment early in the first half in the replay booth.
That's how we roll at CBS. We're team players.
Exactly. We're always here to help.
After further review, the runner stepped out of bounds with the ball at the half-yard line. Therefore, it's 1st and goal, Mississippi State at the half-yard line.
So Ken Williamson gets the word from Robert Roju, and Dak will have to come back out. What do you think the chances are he'll go ahead and take it in himself from the half-yard line?
Probably pretty good.
Prescott, 129 yards rushing, 117 of those this half. He was well aware a week ago of his mother's illness. been fighting a long bout with cancer, only 52. Passed away on Sunday. The funeral was in Vincent, Louisiana, which is in South Louisiana, although he was raised and played high school ball in Houghton in North Louisiana. And they decide to hand it off, and it's touchdown to Ladarius Perkins.
Touchdown, Mississippi State.
So while we're anxiously anticipating our trip to T-Town on CBS in prime time with #1 Alabama, #13 LSU, dare I say we have some more big plays here in College Station, Texas.
Yeah, no question. They're going to go for 2 here to make it 35 to
2-score game,
51.
making 16 points. 2 scores, two-point conversions. Yep.
But hey, I like it. You're being aggressive. Remember, this is the similar. No, it's not, actually.
Empty backfield. Prescott himself.
God.
Why not? I mean, you're not stopping. I mean, that's like a runaway freight train coming at a safety. Forget about it.
No question. At first, I thought they were lining up in the similar formation that they had the other one, but they didn't. They found a way to get it in. Dak Prescott with the big run to be able to get himself in. Perkins punching it in, dumping over the goal line, finishing off a nice drive. And then finally the touchdown, the big run, the 2-point conversion with Dak Prescott, 35-51. Be back in a moment.
Adam, thank you. Here, 51-35. Mississippi State trying to hang with Johnny Manziel and the Texas A&M Aggies. I get the feeling that this is, Adam made mention of it, Vinny Sunseri. I think this is the first game they've played since he got hurt that it might show up that he's not a part of that. I'll say it because I believe, having been here for the game between Alabama and A&M, without Vinny Sunseri, Alabama doesn't win that game.
Yeah, no question. You need good, strong safety play in both phases of the game. Running the football, certainly defending the pass, but LSU, Zach Mettenberger, in his last 3 games, 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Yep.
His first 6 had 15 touchdowns, only 2. He's got to be able to right that ship and running the football. Their 2 losses, they didn't do it. But I think Mississippi State here has to go for the onside. It's a 2-score, 2-point conversion game right now. If you're aggressive to go for the 2, you got to try an onside here and risk giving Texas A&M the ball at midfield.
They decide to squib it and not go onside. Surprised?
A little bit.
Yeah. Does go into the end zone. It might work out field position-wise, though, after this decision. I'm a little amazed that Trey Williams picked it up when he did. It has been an up-and-down day statistically, although Manziel does have a career-tying 5 touchdown performance. Kennedy on the receiving end. Then came the pick as he was trying to hit Darrell Walker. He had 2 of them inside the red zone. But he always answered, it seemed. That one off the tip drill was picked off, and then he didn't see Nico Whitley, the safety, coming over. But he did respond, finding Nehemiah Hicks for a touchdown after the long kickoff return by Trey Williams.
Timmy, 2 of those touchdowns were when interception were when he was in the pocket. He is best throwing the football when he's outside the pocket.
Brandon Williams is in the backfield, and he'll take it up to the 20-yard line. Now the 6-yard pickup will make it 2nd down and 4. I stated this in the open of our game today that Johnny Manziel was the beneficiary, along with Jameis Winston, the 2 biggest beneficiaries of the performance by Mariota and Oregon in the game at Stanford. I still believe that, even with the 3 interceptions offsetting the 5 touchdown passes today.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, you got to look at his overall body of work and what his overall numbers, and they're still going to be pretty dang good at the end of the year. And I think Johnny Manziel will have some opportunities.
Oh, shit, you think? I mean, those 2 games against LSU, they get a week off after this game. Then they play at LSU and Missouri.
Yep.
I mean, those are 2 teams. If you happen to win, your record soars from presumably 8-2 tonight to 10-2 by then. Now all of a sudden you're talking about a very highly ranked team that can't win the SEC, but conceivably could go to a BCS Bowl. 3rd and 1. Pressure coming. Back shoulder throw to, boy, that's just a thing of beauty, but it was out of bounds. Mike Evans, like a contortionist, was able to turn on that back shoulder throw and almost got the 1 foot in. Golly, he's good.
We talked about his ball skills, tremendous catch radius, strong hands, goes up and takes the football at its highest point.
He is a beast.
Having that body control in midair, Tim, is exceptional.
I mean, that performance for 273 in the one game against Alabama. Nick Saban had to reconstruct his defensive philosophy after the first 2 series of that game. Now, that drive only ate up about 1:15 off the clock. So Mississippi State with ample time off the punt to Jamion Lewis. Oh, he deked him a little bit there, and he keeps his balance. Jamion with his game on, out to the 42. 49-yard punt, 14-yard return, and here are the numbers. And again, you look at the stats and they wow you. Okay, Bryce Petty has got to pick up a little bit of conversation, I would think, now in the aftermath of what they did to Oklahoma, and that was not really his A game.
No question, and the good news for Bryce Petty is that his schedule's back in loaded as well, so he'll certainly have some opportunities on the national stage to make a mess.
And as for A.J. McCarron, I can hear the Twitterverse now blowing us up for not mentioning him. The perception on A.J. is since the A&M game, he hasn't had to make a play for them to win. He'll have to make plays in this game tonight against LSU, against Auburn, and conceivably in the SEC championship. Prescott out to the 45-yard line of A&M. That's a first down, a 13-yard gain.
And all that would mean for A.J. McCarron is that he beat an 11th-ranked Texas A&M team, a 10th-ranked LSU team, and a 7th-ranked Auburn team, or wherever they're going to be if they stay undefeated to that point. So
good, bad, or indifferent. This is the glamour position, and statistics do matter. And the team that surrounds him, he's victimized by the greatness of his team and his coaching staff.
I'll tell you what, the most impressive stat that he has is his ability to win football games.
Absolutely.
Dude is a winner.
Perkins has it inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line.
27, Ladarius Perkins, tackle by number 8, Stephen Jenkins, and number
7-yard gain. 4:42 and counting.
So
Mississippi State has all 3 timeouts remaining. You score here, you get the 2-point conversion, you onsides, and it's game on.
No question. Execution, Timmy. You have to be able to execute.
Perkins again off the zone read. Should have enough for the first down. Inside the 35 to the 34. Alonzo Williams has been very active. Sophomore from Long Beach, California. Number 83 for Texas A&M.
Mississippi State several times has tried to take some play action shots. I think they need to keep running the football instead of trying to throw on first down, because if it's incomplete, you're behind the chains.
Pressure coming. Prescott looks for, boy, that was almost caught by his tight end Malcolm Johnson. He gave himself up along the sidelines and is shaken up as a result.
Almost a great play action as we just mentioned, but now you're digging yourself out of a hole with 2nd and 10.
This team is not far from being pretty good. They just have to establish who their playmakers are beyond the quarterback.
And they got to execute, man. They got to find a way to win. They got to make plays. You got to be able to catch balls when you have a first down. You can't shoot yourselves in the foot and expect to get better as a football team.
Prescott keeps it. They're just gashing A&M in the middle with Prescott carrying it inside the 25 to the 23-yard line.
He's slow to get up again, Tim. He's taking a pound and he's putting it all on the line.
Hurd nailed him in the midsection again. He's had 2 big pops right in that lower abdominal region.
I think Tony Hurd took the worst of that one, my friend.
Yes, he did. 154 yards rushing for Dak Prescott. Perkins inside the 20. The flag is down as Prescott goes to the sidelines. It was Alonzo Williams on the stop. Now we'll check the marker with 3:18 remaining.
And that's helpful there, Timmy, because it stops the clock. And although Mississippi State's moving the ball, pressure seconds are ticking.
Foul, face mask, defense number 10. The penalty is half the distance to the goal and includes an automatic first down.
Big mistake by the freshman Deshaun Hall.
Coaches say that Deshaun Hall doesn't do anything right except make plays and show up. This was one of the rare mistakes by that young guy. Say he doesn't line up right, doesn't execute what they say right, but every time they flip on the film, he's sitting there making a play.
Now this begins to eat into the clock a little bit as Prescott left and Tyler Russell got back into the game. So clearly he was dinged a little bit on that play as he went to the sidelines. And with Russell out there, they may have to throw it here rather than go with what they would normally do in this situation, and that's call on number 15. He's not out there now.
I'm surprised why they're taking so much time here, Timmy. This is an offense that runs up tempo, but they're taking their dear sweet time in the huddle getting this play called.
Yeah.
Tick, tick, tick.
Russell going for the fade route, and he's got his man. It's caught. And 81, De'Runnya Wilson again on the receiving end. Wilson with another touchdown catch.
And that was over number 29 to Shazer Everett. It's a nice fade route and perfectly placed with enough air underneath it. Now Wilson can go up and just take it. Now they've got to get a two-point conversion, Tim. They were successful last time running the football with Dak Prescott. You don't have too many two-point plays that you can be able to go back to. They might have to go back to something else they tried. It's going to certainly be the same formation last time, but maybe look for play action off of it this time.
The senior from Meridian made a nice pass. Second touchdown catch of the afternoon for Wilson. Well, they go with that play that Prescott would have run, only it wasn't 15, it was 17. And the spread will remain at 10, 51-41. A little back and forth going on between Isaiah Golden and Tyler Russell.
So there's a perfect example of the difference between Tyler Russell and Dak Prescott. Tyler Russell makes this throw for the touchdown, but can't make the run with the physicality that number 15 has shown all night.
Well, really the big problem for this team is it's been at its best when both quarterbacks were healthy. The first half against LSU, and you could argue really the first half of this game, but neither of them have managed to stay healthy, either because of Prescott's approach and the kind of physical beating you're going to take in this zone read attack at the quarterback spot, or Russell, who's just been playing in hard luck all season long with a concussion to open the season, an ankle injury against LSU, and then again against Kentucky. This was really the first time they've been healthy at the same time to begin a game this year since the opening game of the year.
And for Dan Mullen to be effective with that style of offense, he needs two healthy quarterbacks, one that can throw and one that can run. Certainly Tyler Russell finally getting healthy helps them throw the football, but you see there now with some of the staff looking at 15 Dak Prescott, who we've seen went several times in pain.
That's onside kick time here. Sobiesk will do the honors. It's loose, still loose. Looks like the Aggies are on top of it.
Onside kick on the play.
Texas A&M does come away with it. Labhart was down there, but it appears to be Molina that got it. Well, the seniors, remarkable job by Jake Matthews throughout the course of his career here. So very close to his father Bruce and his younger brother Mike, who he says is a bit more vocal, but he hammers him on PlayStation. He gets the job done in the video game area against the younger Matthews. Molina remains in the backfield. Dropped at the 42. after a gain of a couple of yards.
Been impressed, Tim, with the receivers blocking out on the edge for this Texas A&M offense. Ben Molina, you can't say enough about the type of player he's been.
Seems rare to be talking about seniors like Jake Matthews this early in the month of November playing their last game. Christina Acra has more on Jake.
That's right, Tim. Like you said, Jake Matthews, a senior, a leader on this offense, but he will admit himself that his younger brother is actually the more vocal one. Like you said, we spoke to him this week. He said, you know what, it seems like sometimes we're actually from two different sets of parents, but they are very similar in some ways too. They look alike. Their competitive spirit, their love for football is undeniably a Matthews trait. And like you said, they go to their throwback Nintendo 64 to blow off steam. They're competitive at that too. They live together, spend a lot of time together, and we're sure that their 14-time Pro Bowler and dad, Bruce Matthews, would be extremely proud of the both of them.
Yes, indeed. They spent a lot of time on the island. You know, they're very aware of that. Gee, we thought every year we were supposed to go to Honolulu.
But don't all families vacation in Hawaii, Dad?
But I tell you what, I mean, great shot of those two right there.
Yeah.
The one thing that they have in common is they're both technically sound, fundamental football players. Putting the tape on, number 75, Jake Matthews, his versatility alone makes him a first-round pick, Tim. In the NFL, you only travel 7, maybe 8 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
That young man can play 4 of the positions. That's going to get him drafted high. In 56, little undersized as a center, but he's a baller.
A reminder, time permitting. I always love hearing that when I'm on the receiving end. When I'm in Adam Zucker's position, I always love hearing when Vern says, time permitting, Tim,
yes,
we'll let you talk. We'll have the Jeep postgame show. It's coming up next, and they'll review what has been a very active day in college football. Big story within the SEC, the Vanderbilt thrashing of Florida. And, of course, preview the upcoming matchup at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. We've got a fantastic game between LSU and number 1 Alabama. And that sideline route again for Evans. Coming back for it yet again from Johnny Manziel. Looking to set even more records within a game. And Johnny, let's enjoy every bit of this. This is likely to be his last opportunity at Kyle Field. He's dodged that subject anytime it's ever been asked. You can hear, though, the fans enjoying the moment with him. Time to start taking a knee in the victory formation. Anyone that's ever participated in sports understands this. If you're the opposing team, you can't stand that guy. But if you're on his team, boy, do you love him. and if you happen to have him on your team as an opposing player, you'd welcome him.
Yeah, no question. And this team really respects and responds to Johnny Manziel. In the locker room, Kevin Sumlin told us he's kind of the Pied Piper, always in the middle of all the shenanigans and hijinks that are going on. And I'll be honest, I'll be the first one to say that looking at it from the outside in, you do have your questions. But now that I've been down here and had a chance to see it, that dude's a team player.
Yeah. 446 yards passing, 5 touchdowns today. Time now for our Napa Auto Parts play of the game. The old out and up, 75 yards to Evans, and this came at a time when Mississippi State had drawn to within 10 at 30-20.
And this is really symbolic of what we talked about, and I think the story of the game is the way that Texas A&M responded with haymakers every single time that Mississippi State would jab it. Time and time again, the Aggies found a way to make a play, and Mississippi State found a way to give them one. It's an ugly stance right there. Now you're gonna have to work on that, Mike. Good night. He's going to be one of those players, Timmy, that's going to have some decisions to make.
Yeah, he is.
Redshirt sophomore, but he is 3 years removed from high school and be eligible for the NFL draft.
Cedric Ogbuehi, the right tackle, number 70. We've got a review underway, but he's another one that's going to have a decision to make. There is an opportunity for him to play left tackle next year should he decide to stay.
Catch out of bounds on the sideline stance. Second down.
The catch does. They were reviewing the catch by Evans. There is Cedric from Allen, Texas. He is a big-time tackle that's got a tremendous future.
And you know why? Look at his arms.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
my
got
God.
that little punch move that you see a lot of times tackles use, right?
No question. His arms are so long he can keep the defenders off him. You see him a lot of times just jabbing, just punching with one hand. Now you got to be careful because the counter to that is a stab and grab on the next level. They'll be able to take advantage of it. But when you look at the length of his arm in the NFL, Tim, there's a direct relationship between length of arm and length of the career for offensive linemen. So the future looks bright for Obuehi.
Texas A&M ensconced, of course, in this area not far from Houston County. If, in fact, Johnny Manziel is seeing his last days as a collegian, there are a number of people thinking there might be a restoration process about to take place in Houston and that he could ignite it. We'll see. But regardless, he's enjoyed his time here, and he has been a joy for us to watch.
Man, has he been fun to watch. I mean, never have I seen somebody that's had such a penchant for making plays when the play breaks down. He's the lemonade man.
The greatest quarterback in my lifetime at the collegiate level was Roger Staubach. At the collegiate level,
right.
Okay, as someone that's followed the game closely. Without question, this young man, while he may have a lot to learn about life, he reminds us all as a college quarterback.
On the sideline is ruled a catch. The previous play with the timeout will not be charged Mississippi State. It's first down.
Ken Williamson restores order, but I do believe at the collegiate level we've not seen one like him that could dodge that many would-be tacklers since Staubach and Manning. Manning especially. He had longer gaits as a runner, but he was an incredible quarterback in escapability and also the ability to get yards on the ground by himself.
I mean, Vince Young's that guy for me in the modern era that I've been able to see with my own eyes.
Right.
But I tell you what, number two makes you think long and hard about comparing those two.
But you do have to see him in person to fully appreciate his skill set.
I was watching that game last week, and he took off on that long run. The DBs being flat-footed looked like he was returning a punt and shaking a kicker. But those were the most athletic people on the field.
The replay is checking the clock status.
We've had a lot. This has been quite a coronation because of the circumstances surrounding this. Yep. They reviewed the catch by Evans, ruled that it had been made. So they upheld that particular call. Then there was concern about whether a timeout had been taken. And I think they finally have cleared that up. And that's why we've had the stoppage. Now they're having to reset the clock. So that's why we've had.
It just means more time to enjoy senior night.
Yeah, and less time for the Jeep postgame report, I should add. And Johnny takes a knee. So what do you think about the LSU-Alabama game? Give me your thoughts on it. How do you see that thing finishing out?
I think Alabama's going to win. I just think they're a stronger team in all three phases. LSU started out hot, stretching the field vertically with Cam Cameron, Zach Mettenberger throwing the ball extremely well. They've cooled off in the last couple contests.
I thought that was by design, though.
Yeah, well,
I thought it was
to sleep.
No, well,
throwing 7 interceptions in your last 3 games for Zach Mettenberger. That's quite a lull.
Ole Miss really did do a nice number on Mettenberger and Cam Cameron. I'll give you that. But against Florida, they didn't have to throw it to score. Well, let's take a look at this A&M offense today. Total numbers on it, 446. That's tying a career high for touchdowns with 5. Dak Prescott, pretty good day at the office for the Super Soft, huh?
No question. Career high rushing the football. Virtually untackable in the midfield. And then for A&M, their 9th straight game with 500-plus total yards, the longest active streak in the NCAA. And what can you say about this offense led by Johnny Manziel and number 2 just what a treat to be able to watch the Aggies do what they do offensively.
So back to the LSU-Alabama thing for a minute. You see it as a blowout? You see Alabama win?
No, not at all. This game's never a blowout. I think it's going to be dirty. I think there's going to be a lot of blood and
spoken like a true offensive
business
lineman.
going on at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a real good, interesting shot to be able to look at A.J. McCarron. I think it's going to be about execution, not necessarily making the great play, but avoiding the bad one.
All right. Johnny doesn't want it to end, does he? He even knows how to take a knee with flair.
Dan Mullen called the timeout.
Another timeout. I think it's Coach Mullen that just has decided to extend this thing.
Well, he can't be happy with the shenanigans that are going on from his perspective. From Texas A&M's perspective, they're pretty happy that they got a win against a team that played them pretty tough, especially on senior night.
I want to make mention of this. There's been some thought, some conjecture out there about Kevin Sumlin and USC. We asked him point blank. All right, I asked him about the report. He said, yeah, did you see that picture? I had a nice tie on. He is ensconced in College Station and loves it here. He has not talked to USC. Those were his words to us in our meeting. And oh, by the way, Kyle Allen is the #1 quarterback, 5-star recruit out of Arizona. Kevin can't talk about him, but we can. And he's a verbal commitment to Texas A&M to go along with Kenny Hill, a magnificent Southlake that will be competing for the job if Johnny Manziel elects to take his exploits to the next level.
Yeah, regardless if I think whoever plays at the quarterback position for Texas A&M, their future's bright. #7, Kenny Hill, is a tremendous football player. Watching him on tape last week, Coach Sumlin said it was important to be able to see him go out and execute some drives. He certainly did that. Tell you what, the person that's most happy about these USC